Oh well, I don't know if it's at the front page or not. It's fine, whatever.
Enjoy your stay.
Oh well. One thing I will say about SWTOR that kind of bothers me is the amount of flying, like just for the hell of it. Like the amount of travel you do in this game kills me. Uh-oh, that's not good. Uh-oh. There we go. We got.
Care to
Nope.
take a look at our ordnance?
Won't find a better bargain.
Wow, that's way better.
Come back anytime.
When I was a young boy, I went down to the county fair, bought myself a nickel, bought a pickle, had change to spare. Thought I'd spend a cent or two to see what the robots could do. There were wires all around.
I can't hold him off forever. Confess and we can put this behind us. Very well. You are hereby sentenced to 2 decades of off-world slave labor.
Stop stammering, worm. That's what you get for defiling the Imperial banner with your filthy hands.
Destination. Enjoy your stay.
Alright, let's see what we got here.
Everybody's going to the Clockwork Coffin. Everybody wants to see the show. People crowd the door, scream and shout.
That was awesome. I stood up on the speeder. Alright, let me go ahead and stream to the other channel at the same time.
Clockwork Coffin. Clockwork Coffin.
What?
There were 4 metal people, 3 stone so sharply. Kept me tuned with the automaton robotically. The guitar strings hum to the beat kept by the tambourine.
Imperial. Okay.
Boilers made it steam. Metal gleaming. Songs with a good tune that would stick with you a
What's up, Dovey?
While music and song fill the air.
That's awesome. That's a good cutscene. Oops. Penny, does it work on the For the Win channel? I'm just making sure. It looks like it does. I assume it does. Yep. We're on For the Win broadcasting. We'll start getting over there soon. Look at those boobs. Oh my god.
Order you, my personal entertainer. Do you perform tricks?
Not as such, Master. I would be willing to learn tricks if it pleases you, however. I am programmed for a wide array of tasks, including but not limited to meal preparation, ship maintenance, janitorial duty, and etiquette. Welcome aboard this Fury class unusual versatile craft combined with starlight and the ability to armament to rival larger military vessels. You'll find all the standard benefits, including your own private captain models or advantages. Astrogation console contains a constantly updated map of the known galaxy. Interstellar communications are accessed via the ship's holodeck. Priority alerts that you may find useful are available from the Imperial Holonet console. Lastly, the ship's intercom will inform your crew.
Yeah, we got to work on that. That's my fault. I didn't actually enable that stuff. It's available, I just don't use it, so I'll change it.
Stop selling me the shirt and stay out of my way.
I promise to limit all future conversation to essential information. Premature deactivation is not one of my directives. I regret I am unable to offer you combat support, Master. Frankly, my chassis couldn't withstand the stress. However, should any errors arise that are beneath your superior status, please do not hesitate to call me. I function to serve. Whenever you are ready to depart, consult the galaxy map on your bridge. It will program proper aspiration coordinates and activate the engines.
Alright. Excuse me, what the fuck? Oh, space combat! Alright, let me talk to this, which won't give me anything. Nope. Nothing. Alright. Oh, and they fucking fired Stephen Reed. They fucking fired him. I am so distraught about that shit. Like, Stephen Reed? Oh, the one guy who was doing his fucking job? You fire him, huh? Well, no accounting for taste, I suppose. I should have a space. Ah, there it is. Space combat.
Flight Commander Prequel, my lord. If you possess a ship, I could certainly use your talents. The Republic grows bolder. Their attack squadrons ambush Imperial targets and disappear into open space. We're struggling to compete.
Soon we'll dispense with this foolish stalemate and have our war.
Precisely, my lord. But in the short term, we must respond with force. I'd scrambled the Cast 23rd and Dreadwing, but it's not enough. We're forming an exclusive response squadron, the Empire's Fury. With a Sith of your power leading the squadron, we crush the Republic in record time.
Time for you to see what a Sith can do.
Fantastic, my lord. Your call sign will be Rage.
Rage, really? I'm not an angry Sith. I'm actually kind of calm Sith.
Assists throughout the galaxy. Strike with Fury. Strike for the Empire.
I want a new call sign. I don't like that one. I want my call sign to be like, I don't know, bubblegum or something like that. Alright, what do we got here? Yada yada yada. Creeping hunger. Alright, I'll go back to Korriban for that one. Not. Cherry Pie the Sith. Oh boy. And by the way, I did not forget to sign in to do Van Arc or whatever. Stole is actually preparing my speech as we speak. So all that stuff get taken care of tonight. Call sign to She-Hulk. I need to turn the sound down in SWTOR, at least the music. Exactly, speech. My fellow Americans. No, I don't know what the speech is going to be or whatever. She's writing it. I sat down for like 30 minutes and hashed something out. I was like, this doesn't sound good. So I turned it over to somebody far wiser than myself. I was like, she'll figure it out. Hopefully. It's on Pepper Potts now. Alright, preferences. Okay. Preferences. Music volume. Rage speech about it. No, I'm not gonna rage about it. Actually, oh, by the way, I got a game last night, a donation. And it was like a $5 game. I've been wanting to get it for like I've probably been wanting it for about a year or whatever. I just never could bring myself to pay the $5. As lazy as and as cheap as that is, I was just like, oh man, it's a whole $5. I mean, it's $5. I could spend that on anything. So Gordo Obama needs to I think it's called Garish. It's like a third-person action game. It's kind of like, think of God of War on a much smaller scale. So I'm actually going to download it later. Actually, what I need to do, stop watching this on 2 spots so the stream actually doesn't look choppy. There we go. I keep forgetting that I can't stream on 2 different places, play the game, and watch. Like, I just can't do all of them, so I'm afraid of change, no. I don't like change. Yeah, that sounds like a little kid. I don't like change. Sounds like me, matter of fact. Travel to Balmora, travel to Nashadar. Yeah, this is a quest I forgot to do, and it's been driving me nuts. So I'm gonna go and feed this thing. Not because I particularly need the money or I need the EXP. Just because I've been wanting to kill this thing since I left Korriban, and I just forgot to do it. Look at the little acolytes. Look at them. Oh, they're so precious. Level 5. Oh, so precious. Like I'm talking all this shit and I'm level 16. Yeah, I don't give a shit about that guy. forgive the music. The music isn't bad. It's just not recognizable music. Because because I'm on YouTube right now, I can't play, you know, copywritten music without explicit written authorization. And for some reason, I don't think the Red Hot Chili Peppers are going to go ahead and respond to my inquiry. Is it okay if I play your song? Uh-huh. Alright, cool. I poisoned that guy. That's all I wanted to do. Yep, it's fixed music. Believe it or not, fixed music has a lot of music. A lot of it sounds like dubstep. A lot of it is dubstep. Not that I have a problem with dubstep, it's just that too much of a good thing is not a good thing. Put it like that.
Gaya's failures inside the academy. I'll take my chances with the other acolytes.
It's every Sith for themselves down there. We barely made it out alive, and Corus didn't make it out at all.
Horace was weak. Another acolyte crosses me, they'll get what they deserve.
Oh, fine. Just wait until the med pack kicks in, alright?
Boy, talk about fucking hardcore. Alright. Let me actually fidget with this for a second. Graphics? Shadows are off. Alright, let's see what changes. Sometimes nothing, you can't tell the difference of what changes or whatever, but yet you'll get like a markedly improved game experience. And that might actually have been it right there. It looks a little different, but not bad. So, we shall see. Wub wub wub. It should be. You can't find it on For the Win. Yeah, AWOL showed me how to put it on the front page, and god damn it if I didn't forget how to do it. So I'll have to go ahead and fidget with it. It should be on the, I mean, I could have swore to God I put it on the front page. If not, I will go ahead and mess with it one more time. Add to favorites. Okay. Should be up on the favorites page. Now let me go to the front page before the. Actually, let me get on my ship and fly where I'm supposed to be flying first.
Have I mentioned recently how much
Balmora or Nashada? Damn it! I don't like either one of these planets. Alright, whatever.
Apprentice, you've reached Nashada safely. Good. Don't let the delivery towers fool you. Misery and desperation rule the slums below. And desperation can drive people to many things. Remember that in your attempts to recover the artifact here.
Do you believe I can use these people's hopelessness against them?
Their need for answers should serve you well. The artifact, a pendant called the Eye of Kulak, belongs to the Sith Lord Palladius. He's lived here many years, converting Nashadal's poor and suffering into zealous followers. His own cult.
He sounds like a very cunning man. I admire that.
Cunning, devious, persuasive, yes, and atrociously stubborn. Palladius leads his cult from seclusion, but you can draw him out. I've contacted 2 of his former cult members. They're in hiding now, fearing retribution and hungry for revenge. They should prove useful.
I prefer to work alone, Master.
Don't discount them. They have information, and they're eager.
She's not an angry Sith. That is so awesome.
Encourage their cooperation with the assurance that once Palladius is gone, the cult is theirs to lead. Circumstances change, of course. Do whatever you feel is necessary with Palladius and his cult. The artifact is all that matters.
God, I love her. She's so awesome. Alright, let's see. Subscriptions. Let's see, the video is public. Add to. Okay. Public, yada yada yada. Alright. Now let's go into the video manager. Live events. Edit. Claiming options. This is all, by the way, this is all me just learning how to do this. View on channel. Whatever. Yeah, I can see your comments now. They weren't showing up at first, unfortunately. YouTube live streaming is not perfected yet by any stretch of the imagination. So it's kind of hard to keep track of who's saying what and when. For instance, it will show up 6 minutes after you type something, which isn't great. It's not the worst thing in the world, but it's far from great. So the people on For the Win Broadcasting are watching. I apologize. It's kind of hard to keep track of it. But I will occasionally check and see what people say, unfortunately. That's about as good as it can get right now. Unless I open up the Pornotron 3000 over to my right, which is my big screen TV hooked up to a second computer, and view it there. Which is like cheating. So we'll see. Oh, from the EU? Gotcha. Yeah, it's the Pornotron 5000. It's a large television with wireless headphones. I mean, it's the Pornotron 5000. One day we're gonna get a stripper for the Win Television, and we're going to broadcast it to our subscribers. And when I say stripper, I mean Bordeaux and a bottle of honey. Just think about that. Just let that marinate in your mind for a minute. That's right, doing the truffle shuffle. Since I can actually get away for that on For the Win Broadcasting. Alright, let's see. I love how everything about this is awesome. That she has that Zash. Everything she wants me to do is like, go out there and bring me back this. Why, Master? Don't ask questions. Just go do it. And that's kind of the end of it. Like, she's so nice, you kind of feel like you want to. What's my main? Main is right now an Imperial Agent operative. I also have a 50 Bounty Hunter Power Tech tank. And I don't really like the Power Tech tank. It's kind of meh. It's missing a lot of the things that tanks, you know, kind of need or whatever. So that's my main right now is the operative, and the Power Tech is just kind of there. I don't know if I'll ever go back and play it. I would love to redo my advanced class. And I know some point in the future BioWare is going to offer that. They don't really get a choice in the matter. It's something that they have to offer at some point. Perhaps changing your AC for 1,000,000 credits or something. I don't know. But I'd like to play a mercenary. I just don't want to level up another bounty hunter to play a mercenary. Seems a little ridiculous. Twirl my dick around for him. That's disgusting. Let's see. What do we got here? So much flesh, are you sure I can't have a taste? Like, when you stop and really look at this game or whatever, it's not a bad game. It's not even a bad looking game. It's just missing some of the... Hey, it's me! Like, no, seriously, that's me. Same face tattoos, same hairstyle, same thing. It's really odd. Matter of fact, I think I'm going to go find that outfit. I think I'm going to go buy that outfit. Actually, I think I can buy that outfit now. Well, I got 50K. I could go buy that. That is so skanky. My border on the cinnamon swirling. It's disgusting. Oh god. No, I'm not even social rank 2. I haven't done anything with anybody in this game. But you guys know that, and even in Terra, when I need help, it's like I have to force myself to ask for help. Because I don't like to bother people. I don't want someone to have to stop what they're doing to come in and help me. Unless it's Stole. In that case, I'd love it. It's just because Pepper gets so upset about stuff.
Oh, Destress, dear brutish Destress, and Riley, so beautiful and intelligent. You were like children to me, which is why it pains me to do this.
You can cut the act, Palladius. You never cared about any of your children.
We don't need a tyrant for a father.
Ah, well said. Marvelous last words. Truly, I expected nothing less, which is what makes this so hard. Now, if you'll excuse me, my other children would like to play with you.
Yeah, I do. When stuff goes wrong, and when shit happens or whatever, Bordeaux's just MIA forever. Just the way things happen around here. Oh my god, I'm getting destroyed. I got fucking annihilated. This guy's level 20. What in the shit am I doing here? Oh my god, I got fucked. Yeah. Yeah, I got not. Why did I come here instead of Balmora? Oh god, I'm so stupid. I don't want to go to Balmora. Balmora sucks. I hate that place. Oh god, alright, hold on. Screw that, I'm killing these guys. Fuck! I can do it! How about do something, Kimval? Like something useful. The fuck is he doing? Is he just standing there? Get your shit together, Kimval. Oh god. Oh. Shit sakes, man. Oh, and they all come back? Really? That's lame. Hey, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Now this is the race that I want to play above all else in this entire game. Togruta, if I'm saying that right. If BioWare today said, give us $20 and we'll unlock this race for you, I would say shut up and take my money. This the only race that I would roll in SWTOR if they let me. Oh man, like maybe some green and white face paint. Oh, alright, fine. Fine, whatever. Where's my damn ship hanger at?
Have a safe and pleasant stay.
Screw you guys, I'm going home. Oh, so bad at this game. So bad at this game. Who dies like that? Who just walks in? Oh shit, everybody's level 20. And then I realize I'm fucked. Sure. Yeah, let's group up. Why not? I mean, as long as it's not like taking you out of the way of what you're doing or whatever, that'd be great. An Ithorian? I don't know if that would be... The whole thing is like, I get where BioWare's coming from. Like, there are some species in the game that are just like too alien. Like this guy right here. I think that's a Rhodian, if I am correct. I don't know. Whatever the fuck that thing is, right? It's got a dick for a nose, alright. No, it's not a Rhodian. But anyway, that's too alien looking to kind of make the cut. I understand that. This guy right here, a little better, but still, you know, no nose, no, I don't think he has any fucking ears. Yes, he's got ears. He's got little kip ears. This guy could make it. He could make the cut for maybe an expansion pack or something, an alien expansion pack. This guy right here, I don't think so. I just don't think. These guys, I cannot remember what they're called or whatever, but yeah, they could make it. That's no problem. And I think that's just a black guy. Yeah, it's just a black guy. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Why does it look like a skinny Bordeaux? Look at him. Hey, what's up, brother? Been scoping out on the white chicks? Awesome. Alright. Whatever Skadge's race is, in an alien expansion pack, I could go along with this guy. He looks scary and big and imposing or whatever. That's alright. I mean, he doesn't look very human. So whatever. This guy's just bald. We got plenty of bald people here. Gamorreans, the pig people. Again, alien expansion pack, no problem. So when people are like, oh, is that an Ithorian right there? Yeah, I think that's one right there. That's an Ithorian, and that's a Rhodian. Yeah, that's a Rhodian. Again, I don't know. Rhodians... It's that... Could you imagine having to hear that fucking Rhodian? Because I don't think they speak basic. And this guy doesn't have a mouth. Yeah, does he have a mouth? Does the top of his head, like, unhinge or something? I think it does. Okay, I'm starting to understand how they eat. Oh, it's no problem, Chaos. No problem. And I don't know, an alien expansion pack, maybe this guy would work. I don't know. I mean, if we're gonna go this far, we might as well. God, are those his teeth? I guess that's his teeth. The fuck is he doing? Like, stoops down, looks at the ceiling. Fine programming. This race right here, the Nwatalan. Those guys. I would love to play one of those. I'd get them in maybe this color and, well, maybe blue. And have them just be pure evil. That would be awesome. I could go along with that. Here we have a Wookiee. I mean, that's the whole thing about Star Wars. You have all these really alien and creepy and funky races, but they're only alien and creepy and funky by comparison to humans. Like, look at this guy. He's a Devorian. The devil, basically. And look at him, right? He looks... definitely, they could add him tomorrow. It'd be fine. I don't know. I'd like to see them add more variety to the game. I know they said they're adding more races this year. I don't know if they said they were going to add them for 1.3. I don't think they said 1.3. But they said this year. And I'm willing to go ahead and give them, you know, the benefit of the doubt. And I'm willing to actually stick around with this game for the rest of the year, whatever. I actually was going to quit SWTOR actually in a couple of days. That was my plan. I was like, I'm going to quit in June. If the game isn't up to par, if they didn't have rank war zones and all this other stuff. I was kind of in the spot where I was like, man, this is not worth, you know, $15 a month. But realistically, when you take a moment just to kind of stop and appreciate all the detail that's in the game and realize how big and how vast it is or whatever, it kind of makes you realize that our complaints as players are realistically just that, minor fucking complaints. They're really not these jaw-dropping things like, oh my god, they don't have this, or this is broken, or what. This is a big fucking game. It's a large undertaking. So a lot of the things that we want, a lot of things that I talk about, like I would love to add to the game, those are things like, yeah, in a year or 2 years or whatever, I completely see them adding that, but they've got to have a starting point or whatever. Space station? Okay, I'll be there in a second. And to the people on For the Win, I can't see your comments. I am... Huh. Update automatically. That's good. There you go. Okay, great. I can actually see it now. Oh, absolutely. I had to wait till I saw the level 24. I was like, oh, here comes the rape. That's something also in this game, like, I'd like to see them kind of take a step back and kind of evaluate a little bit better. There are, like, the 1 to 50 content in this game is awesome. And I think now that BioWare has gotten their feet wet, so to speak, in the MMO industry, they notice that there's stuff wrong, and they're gonna work on it. They're gonna try to fix it. It's probably not gonna be today or tomorrow. It's probably not even gonna be in the next 6 months. But at least they acknowledge there's stuff wrong.
You mean like a wrangle with a rat?
All right. Oh God, I would love to have Zash as a companion. She is so awesome. SWTOR, Star Wars Galaxies. Star Wars Galaxies was a good game. I think it was too ambitious and ahead of its time. I think Star Wars: The Old Republic has a better chance of succeeding, but success is obviously in the eye of the beholder. A lot of people rank success, is this better than World of Warcraft? And if it's not better than World of Warcraft, then it's a failure. Some people rank it against their favorite game, be it Eve or whatever. And if it's not that, then it's a failure, which is, I think, a very narrow-minded way to look at a game. I think what you should look at a game is, are you enjoying the game? Are there aspects of the game that you're getting here that you can't get other places? And when you look at it like that, like, I think Star Wars does a fairly decent job. I mean, does it have flaws? You bet your ass it has flaws. But are those flaws so big as to make you say that I'm never going to play this game again? I am not an altaholic. I don't actually like making alts. this game right here has actually made me enjoy making alts. I've never enjoyed that, but the story aspect alone is enough to get me interested to make more. So playing as a Sith Inquisitor and then playing as a Jedi Knight, and I'm like, you know, they're different stories, and some of them are actually the same story, but you're just seeing different parts of it. Like, for me, that's new and innovative in an MMO. I mean, I can't think of another game where I can get that at, where rolling one alt isn't the exact same thing as rolling another one, where there's some... Is he dead? No, he's not dead. That's weird. Yeah, I'm happy. I'm absolutely happy with the game. I would love for them to add the Dungeon Finder tomorrow. I'd like for... Oh, wow, look at that droid. I would love to get this droid on my ship. Look at him. And he's got a blaster and what looks like a baton. No, that's part of his leg. Yeah, just more. Like, the game needs more, realistically. It needs more combat. I would like to see, I'd like to see co-ops, like, space missions. I mean, that's the first stop for space. Before they have free roaming, space combat and all that, just space missions where you can co-op with your friend and do the same space mission together. That would be a step in the right direction.
My lord, welcome to Belmont. I hope you like bombing to pieces mud holes. In Rigel, Imperial Conquest Consolidation Corps. When the Empire invades, we're the ones who seal the deal. I suppose you're aware of the situation here on Balmorra?
I'm sure you'll fill me in.
The Empire invaded Balmorra in the last war, but we've been spinning our wheels in the mud ever since. Resistance fighters think they can drive the Empire off Balmorra. We're here to prove them wrong.
What does this have to do with me?
I love she's so cold.
The best Sith agents and guns for hire in the galaxy to put this war down once and for all. The Balmoran government in exile, backed by Minister of Defense Volargen, is giving us fits, backing a strong faction of the resistance. The minister is safely off planet, but if we break his allies here, we break him. We break him, we break the resistance.
What do you need me to do?
That's what I'm looking for. People who want to get things done. My second-in-command, Lieutenant Dazzle, is masterminding Phase 1 of what we like to call Operation Breaking Point. You'll find him in Sobrik. He's got plans to blow the Balmoran resistance sky high. I think you'll like them.
I have a question. Do you guys think that this game... I see you, crybaby. Anyway. Do you think that the game would have done better? Let's say Star Wars launched yesterday. That they didn't launch 6 months ago, that they launched yesterday. Do you think this game is enough to actually take a bite out of World of Warcraft? I'm just saying, let's take away all the negativity, let's take away all of the quote-unquote broken promises and so on and so forth. And if the game launched today, do you think it would have been enough? Or do you think that if it launched at 1.3 with rated battlegrounds or rated war zones, do you think that would have been enough to get people, you know, interested and hold on to it? Ooh, force speed. I don't have... Oh. Oh, that's... I want taunt. Fuck that. What do we have? Speed. That's good. Channel the Force. Crushing Darkness. Alright, there we go. Because people have bitched about it taking too long. Yeah, I agree. I think this game definitely needs add-ons, like desperately needs add-ons. But that's just me. I come from World of Warcraft, and add-ons are part of that game, or a big part for me. So.
There's something of great value in one of the hazard vaults, the one that was blown open. I heard you could help.
Who's this? Sith?
and an alien at that. It's a real pleasure. I have a son on Korriban. It's a tough war you're walking into. We're fixing blasters with adhesive tape. But we'll help you any way we can.
With adhesive tape, Jesus.
Let's see. A blown open vault. Captain, do we still have those pumps?
Sir, this is the vault I think it is. It won't be that easy. The fumes alone have put men in a medical center.
Do we have anything else we can work with?
Look at those boobs.
Less deadly. Tell me, Captain, is there nothing that can survive the toxic waste?
Bazak, yeah.
Nothing grows there, sir. But there are the colicoids.
Colicoids? What do those bugs want with toxic waste?
Food, sir. Our surveillance satellites have recorded them.
Yeah, recount. God, I miss recount.
Designed to eat it.
Why would they be designed to eat waste?
It does seem like a strange thing to do, Captain.
It's a guess. The toxic waste resistance may have been an unintended result. Or the Balmoral.
Scott, I didn't really like Scotta.
I personally prefer the term differently rational.
Differently rational.
Whatever you call it, it might be just what we need to crack this thing. We'll wait for you to
I don't run mocks because it's such a pain in the ass. Look at those boobs. Oh my
What are
god.
these creatures created?
Well, I can't say for sure, but there's a research lab not far from here that was overrun with colicoids as soon as the Balmorans abandoned it. But the colicoids are vicious creatures. Just one of them tore apart a whole squad.
I can't afford to make excuses. I need the information in that lab.
I'm sorry, Sith. We don't have the numbers to deal with these things. But if you can get into that lab, we'll get you into that toxic pit.
Sir, even if we find out what causes this resistance, we don't have the...
We'll worry about that later. Right now, our Sith friend has to get into that lab and find out what the Balmorans did to those creatures.
Yeah, this is not going to end well for anybody. Just letting you know. Toxic waste plus Mr. Magoo. Go ahead and think about that real quick. I'll let it marinate for a moment. You're like, oh, it's Bordeaux. There's toxic waste. He has no idea what he's doing. Someone's going to lose an eye. Alright, what do we got here? I'll start a conversation.
Hey there. Got a second? Oh, you're one of them Sith Lords. I ain't seen one of those before. Am I supposed to bow or something?
Don't get stabbed.
Bet you could get me to who's in charge.
This better be worth my while.
I ain't never been more serious. Once you turned our droids against us, Balmoral was dead. It's just Mappa for you. Come out of this with my head. I got info right here. Where they're
Ooh.
what they're hitting. Introduce me to the monkey monks, and I'll trade.
Add a boob slider and I'll be happy.
Off the planet.
Oh man.
You want to defect?
Now you're getting it. Help me out. I think Lieutenant Trishota handles defection, but he's been targeted a few times, so he don't take people off the street anymore. You convince him I'm the real goods, and I'd bet he'd cut you in a finder's fee.
I can see why listening to all of the dialogue is fucking tiresome. I completely understand. Because I'm sitting here listening to it, not because I necessarily want to, but I feel obligated to.
My lord, I have heard much about your accomplishments. I understand you are not averse to occasional off-the-record tasks which require some discretion. One of our officers has just had an unfortunate dust-up with a valuable delegate, and we need to doctor the results.
Doctor results, alright.
Why don't you lay out the situation first?
Look at those boobs! Oh god!
Officer recently quarreled with one of our CHIS delegates. The delegate did not survive.
I have no idea what I use the fucking minicam. I have yet to touch it. I think it takes pictures, I think.
What's your plan?
We have doctored a security recording to make it appear that Balmoran rebels attacked the delegate. We need someone with no direct connection to this officer to go to the room where the murder occurred and upload the doctored footage to the security camera.
Alright.
With luck, we can turn this into a galvanizing point against the rebels.
An excellent plan.
The delegate was killed in the back room of a cantina. I'll give you the coordinates. Just tell our man at the door that you're working for Brereton and he'll let you pass.
This is actually really good. Like, the story is really good. I mean, I can't even remember, like, the last time I actually paid attention in a story-based game to do anything. But it's a fairly good story. Boobs! Actually, I'll show you guys the stuff in my bag. So, check it out, right? Hope. Wait, there it goes, right? My flares, and I don't know if they do anything beyond that. No, that's it. That's what the flare does. Let's see. Hollow Dancer. Any minute now. There she is. You're my tiny dancer. Hologram. Apparently it lets me take like really, really high-res pictures without all the extra stuff. I guess the UI elements. And what do we have here? Training droid. So I can call him in to battle to shock people, which is probably as useful as a soup sandwich. I think that's it. I mean, obviously there's the STARP, which is nothing but a not a terrible looking speeder. That's all it is. So what's my specs or my spec? Let's bring it up. That's what I am right now. I've got 3 in Darkness, 4 in Deception, none in Madness, which is odd because eventually I'd like to go full or hybrid Madness. But I'd like to be as sturdy as I can. I don't really want to be a tank, but this is pretty badass. I mean, the lightning charge increases critical chance by 3%, and the damage dealt by lightning charge by 18. That's good. Dark charge, surging charge, all that stuff is good. Actually, is this? Let me change lightning charge. That's just good DPS. This makes me a little more, I guess, sturdy. And this is just more damage. So eventually I'm going to go ahead and fidget with it and make it like an actual spec. But right now it's fine. As far as I can tell, it's fine. Alright. Start conversation.
Rigel was sending someone my way. Pleased to meet you. The battle for Balmorra can only be won with blood, sweat, and tears. Our sweat, their blood and tears. The government in exile.
What the fuck?
Cowards. Bury them in their little
Oh god.
What's war without a little bloodshed?
I like how you think. The old government sending generators to the resistance, powering their artillery. The resistance has given pardons to Balmorra's worst killers.
Do you see that? Do you see that fucking my lightsaber just floating there?
One of Operation Breakthrough is to destroy those generators and put those killers to sleep. You in?
That'll do nice.
The generators are in the Libre warehouse. If you can blow them to pieces, you'll show the Balmorran resistance it takes more than cold-blooded killers to stop the Empire.
Oh, my PC specs. Oh, I've got a 2 4870 HD graphics cards, a 6-core AMD processor. I think it's clocked at like 3.4 or something like that. I've got 12 gigs of RAM. I've got a 60 gigabyte SSD drive and 32-inch main monitor, 24-inch off monitor. I've got a Razer Hex mouse. And I have a Black Widow keyboard. I have a Logitech G35 wired headset, surround sound or whatever. And is there anything else of note? I've got a nice watch. It's Zoo York. It's a nice watch. That's basically it. Let's see. God, I hate Kimball. The first person they give me to replace Kimball, I'm replacing. I hate that dude. It's like a grouchy old man. And this is the only reason I want to be a Twi'lek. This reason alone is all I want to be a Twi'lek. I don't even know. I think I might actually make a male Twi'lek. No, that's a female Twi'lek, but she's like banana yellow. That'd be different. You don't see too many banana yellow Twi'leks. And this guy is just fucking jamming. Look at this. This is a badass band. Just look at that. That's awesome. And we got fucking Sourpuss behind me. He's wearing a wire. He's an FTA agent. Or was it? No, God damn it, I can't remember what is it. ATF? Get out while you can. The dancer next to you has a penis. I'm just giving out advice while I'm here.
I'm working for Reardon.
SIS? Yeah, that's it. Oh, I can't stand the fucking Gamorreans talking. Yeah, somebody's about to get fucked up. Look at that. Boom, bitch. Oh my god, where the fuck are you, Kit Kat? Kit Kat's just out there doing Kit Kat stuff. Jesus Christ, don't leave me alone. Alright, let me go ahead and upload this. Alright. I gotta put back on my tank stuff. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's like, I'm like a puppy. I'll wander off and be like, oh, look, a butterfly. Awesome. Oops. No. Mr. Sith Man, I would no. Not at all. It's actually, you can make a hobo rig PC, which is basically the bare minimums or like current PC gaming. You can make that for about $450 or less, not including monitor and keyboard and whatnot. But yeah, so like if you just completely cut out all the middleman stuff, for instance, you can get a milk crate for a case and zip ties to go ahead and attach it. You can also buy used parts from some reputable places and get, you know, a pretty decent discount. I mean, you can make it happen.
The officer who deals with defectors. My lord, your station is honored by your presence. Our Lieutenant Trushoda, High Command has tasked me to learn how these rebels think, as distasteful as that is. Have you found a candidate? Someone of enough value for the Empire to recruit instead of capture?
A man named Griffin Remus. He seems to know the rebels well. We should work with him.
Let me see anything you have on him. We could use a man on the inside. Thank you, my lord. Forgive me the paltry payment for your service. We have a standard rate. Never buy a PC. When shit goes wrong, you send it back to them, and then you don't have a PC for a couple of days, if not a couple of weeks. Just, and anything they sell you, you can make cheaper. You can put together yourself cheaper. I mean, it takes a little bit of effort and a little bit of know-how, but never buy a fucking PC. Not from the store, not from Falcon, not from Hawk, not from Alienware, not from Dell, period. There's no reason to do it. put mine together back in the day of dinosaurs. Kit Kat and Vet just keep on dancing.
As far as anyone will know, the rebels killed Duchess.
She talks so slowly and so deliberately. I love it.
Please accept this payment for your service and your silence.
What do we got here? Alright. Got a bag full of money. Alright. Where are we headed to? Yes, people still buy PCs from Dell. I don't know why. I know Alienware it got purchased by Dell a couple years ago, so buying an Alienware PC is buying a Dell PC. Just no. Yeah, but the whole point is you can, for the amount of money that you're going to pay, like let's say there's an Alienware PC out on the market right now that actually has some really nice features. I think it's like $6,000. I mean, it's a badass PC. I'm not gonna lie. It is $6,000. I took those same specs and put together or pieced together something comparable for $1,500. Like, that's a huge markup. A huge markup.
Convoys traveling to the Troida military workshop require armed escorts and escort.
I don't know. I'm just making a point that 6K or whatever that happens.
You're telling me we've got your whole blasted empire behind us, and you can't even find. Oh, sir.
Oh no! Don't go there.
I mean, obviously, the might of the empire is focused on more urgent activities. Yes, glory to the empire.
Please, don't hesitate. I would love to know how you truly feel.
What? That is how I truly feel. I'm only frustrated that my factory may soon be unable to contribute its share to our glorious empire.
Griffin's frustration is understandable, though misdirected. The Troida military workshop requires fresh supplies for its wartime operations. Supplies are shipped from here by due-back convoy. The resistance forces responsible for the raids against our Troida convoys are encamped in a series of caves nearby. Reconnaissance teams have finally pinpointed the location of this resistance encampment. Given your extensive abilities, you could eliminate this threat once and for all.
That doesn't seem overly complicated.
The mission will have two primary objectives. Objective 1 is to eliminate resistance forces and defensive emplacements in the area. The second objective is to retrieve a set of stolen Imperial...
I don't know. The whole point is you can make it for a couple $100 less. Like, let's say I buy something from iBuyPower. I guarantee you, no matter how cheap they're pricing it, $1,500, no matter what's coming in or what you're getting in it, you could piece together something cheaper for several $100s less. Now, if you've got a couple $100s to, burn, cool, but if you're like me and you savor every nickel that you get, spending extra $300 so someone else has to put it together or whatever is just like, it's just not feasible to me. Oh, that's crazy. Or Cryans. Did you add a Z to it? I'm just gonna call them Crazens. Hello, Crazens. Alright, Kit Kat, you got lead, so you gotta invite him. How do you break it putting it together? The Z is there for extreme. Like, I have no idea what the hell I'm doing. Kit Kat has lead. I can't invite you yet. Do it, Kit Kat. Do it. What's up, Big Nate? Maybe Kit Kat went AFK. I'm not sure yet. We'll just kill stuff while we wait. Anyway, I have yet. You can't invite. Do I have lead? Invite the group. I guess I do have lead. That's interesting. I'm not gonna lie. I am a moron, and I couldn't tell you what a fucking transistor does or any of this stuff. but I have yet to be able to break anything in my computer. And when I say anything, I mean I'm talking. I manhandle my PC parts. I don't touch them with kit gloves or anything. I manhandle all of the stuff. I grab it while, you know, grab the motherboard while I'm eating Cheetos. No fucks will be given. Fresh out of fucks to give. And in that, I still have yet to break a PC or any component therefore of. I mean, when I say man, like I've dropped the motherboard while it was attached to the heat sink. I've dropped my processor on the ground. The dog has stepped on it, picked it up, blew on it, put it in, worked just fine. I mean, so the PCs of the past that you had to be extremely delicate with, I don't really know if those exist anymore. I mean, I'm sure you're supposed to be delicate with them, but I'm not, and I haven't run into any trouble yet. I think the only thing I've ever messed up is a stick of RAM, and I'm pretty confident RAM comes in cereal boxes now. Actually, I got some RAM in my Cocoa Pebbles this morning, so. How my kill squad is over here just doing whatever. Wait, does anybody have a healer yet? No? No one has a healer yet. I'm just saying, I'm sure you're supposed to be, like, delicate. I'm the healer. I don't have any heals. I'm an assassin. I don't have the heal button. La la la. Little keys in the yeah, that's a possibility. My sister put together her first PC like I guess a couple of weeks ago, and she almost bent her processor, the parts on her processor, putting it together or whatever. I thought that was crazy, but shit happens, I guess. Yep, just take apart the old PC and that's most of the training you need right there. Alright. Cryins. Extreme motherfuckers! Alright, anyway. By the way, anybody who's part of TG and Terra, if you guys want to just do some Let's Play videos, that's fine. I need to get samples of people's work this week. We're going to start uploading on Sunday. So you've got until Sunday to get me your first video. And if you're just going to do a Let's Play with some music in the background and play for a while, that's fine. That's good enough for me. Where the hell is everybody else? Did I run off again? I ran off again. Take mine off you too. Oh boy. Yeah, I don't overclock anything. I look at it like this. I am not a mechanic, so I don't go outside and like supercharge my engine on my car. I'm not an engineer, so I'm not going to go and try to overclock my PC. Like, seems kind of foolhardy to me. So that's where I am with that. Oh, I just got fucked up. Alright. What server am I on? I am on the Harbinger server. We're actually getting geared up for 1.3. We're recruiting more people. We're getting ready for the transfers and all that stuff. We're going back to 16-man raiding. So if you're interested in playing Star Wars: The Old Republic, you've got the game, you just don't want to play by yourself, roll a new character. We're rolling new characters right now any damn way. Mostly out of boredom. And also because new people don't want to level by themselves. So, go ahead and grab a new character. I'm actually going to make a Marauder. Oh, shit! Oh my god! Someone get the fucking raid.
Hit the repellent. Oh my god. Oh fuck. What in the shit, man? What in the fuck? Extreme. What in the fuck happened? Why are there so many of them? Oh my god. Oh, let me buff everybody. I don't think everyone has the buffs. If I like you. Well, I hope you do like me. I hope. I think that's a little odd. I might roll on your server if you're not a complete dick. Well, I'm not a complete dick. I don't think so anyway. No one's told me otherwise. Now, crying, he might be a complete dick, but that's neither here nor there. We have girls. We have Penny. We have Kit Kat. We have Stole. I know at some point Mona's going to come and play, because you can't help it. Bordeaux is just that likable. You can't help it. So, and also, you can play any class you want to. If you want to play a healer, you get double points. But any class you like, we do not give a shit. I think we're pretty fair about loot. This is how we hand out loot. The person gets loot that hasn't pissed Bordeaux off that day and best succeeds or fulfills our needs. For instance, the guy who shows up has a better chance of getting loot than the guy who doesn't. Also, the guy who is actually doing a lot with what he already has is more likely to get loot than somebody who's bitching and moaning. I don't have shoes yet. Research. I need them new Nikes. Oh, okay. I'm not reading all this. Fuck that. Sorry, I've gotten lazy from SWTOR. By the way, I don't have shoes. There will be no shoes given. Yeah, June is the hopeful date. Or the month that they're going to release it. So, I'm thinking maybe 2 weeks. I'm thinking the next 2 weeks they're going to go ahead and release 1.3. I would assume. And if not, then July, at the latest July. Heroic. Alright, well, let's go do a 4-man. Why not? First off, Kit Kat can't cook, so I don't want her anywhere near the kitchen. If you look at this group right now, there is no healer, there is no fucking rhyme or reason. This is a Zerg group. Oh, God. You'll be testing 1.3? Cool. I don't even think, I'm just going to be completely honest, I don't think they're going to put it on the PTR for any, like, reasonable length of time. They might put it up for, like, a week or something like that. But 1.3 is basically everything about it they can test in-house. There's no reason to put it on the PTR. It's not like it's a heavy content patch or anything like that. It's just quality of life stuff. I don't see the rational reason why they'd be like, oh, man, we have got to put this up on the PTR to let people try it out. Like, no, it's more of a, does the fucking Dungeon Finder work? And if it works, and that's the main thing, then what's the point of putting it on the PTR for an extended period of time? So, I'm hoping that June is the month, maybe the end of June, middle July at the end. Yeah, I don't think there's a new instance or anything. I think it's all just quality of life stuff. I think they're going to add stuff like, holy shit. Wait.
There is no healer. We have to Zerg this shit. We're gonna go ahead and try this. We're gonna try it. Hold on, let me mark. Let me mark real quick. We're gonna go Flame, Shield, Blaster, okay? So Flame, Shield, Blaster. Go. Oh my god, they're so strong. Oh my god, so fucking strong. And those are fucking turrets. Get the fucking turret. Your companion is dead. Your companion is dead. Oh shit. Oh shit, son. Can we pull this off? Can we do this? Oh, fuck. Oh, that was so close. Oh. Whew. Hold on, 1 second. I forgot to do something. I forgot to bring this up. Legacy. Unity. Hold on. I gotta do this. This is not gonna end well for anybody involved. Alright. Unity. What's the other one? General. Assassin. Companion. Where the fuck is my... What? Oh shit, Kim, no! No, Kim! No. Oh, fuck me. He's going in. Kim Vol is gonna fucking die every pull. Fuck, he's gonna die every pull. Okay, let's try this again. What the hell is this? Honey? Okay, I was looking for my orbital strike. I don't know what the shit happened. Cleave, combat stance, offensive, shadow killer. Okay. Pets, legacy, orbital strike. Flamethrower. Okay. The fuck are we doing? Aren't we just walking through? Alright. Let's go down here and fight these guys instead. Alright, actually, I'm gonna go ahead and do my orbital strike. Oh my god, this is such a bad idea. Wow, I was the one who's getting fucked up on that one. Alright. There's no such thing as best, which is actually a good point. There is no best in this game. It's all about what game is fulfilling what your need or your want is at the moment. For instance, SWTOR is, right now, I feel like kind of playing a story-driven game. I'm not going to get that in Terra. Does that mean Terra's a bad game? No, it just means that right now, I feel like playing a story-driven game. So I'm going to go to the game that actually has that as a, I guess, a point of contention. Fuck. Am I wearing the right stuff? Kim Vol has been defeated. Maybe he bought us enough time. Yeah, he bought us enough time. Low health. Low health. Fuck, I'm going down, bitches. I got 8%. I got 8%. Ah, fuck. He got me. Oh, well. Disco and man. I like that. Oh, God. Defeated. Oh, well, at least it tells me what the fuck killed me now, which is good. Fuck is Kim Vol's big ass at? You know what? We actually do have a healer. We can use this fucking droid if we wanted to. I mean, he doesn't have any gear on, so that's not going to be good. What's up? I'm full of beer and buzzed. Oh, good. Wait, is he in tank stance? He should be in tank stance. Yeah. Oh my God. Well, this worked out flawlessly. Oh, are you shitting me? We need a fucking healer for this. And less Bordeaux. Oh, man. Why play this game? This game is dead already. Well, you could say the same thing about why play Modern Warfare. It's a game, it came out, the initial hype phase is over. Does it make it a bad game? No, it just means the initial hype phase is over. This is a fine game. BioWare's actually doing some stuff. Not necessarily the most pleasant thing in the world right now, but they're actually doing stuff that is going to make this game a better game. But I think a lot of people have like unrealistic expectations for IP or whatever in its first year. For instance, BioWare, not BioWare, but Blizzard, World of Warcraft, the undisputed juggernaut of the industry, was not perfect its first year. A lot of times we look back on a game with like rose-tinted goggles or lenses or whatever. I can CC? When the fuck did that happen? Huh, I guess I can. Well, that's good to know. Alright, hold on. We look back through rose-tinted goggles or whatever, or lenses, and we don't take into consideration how much Blizzard had to grow that IP and how much trial and error was involved before they made it work. And he's using fucking cleave. So, is Star Wars like in a good spot right now? No, not by any stretch of the imagination. But the game is fun. The end game definitely needs work, but the leveling process, if you enjoy the story, is still top notch. And I dare anyone to find a MMO with a better story. So, I think it's awesome. No, I mean, it's not necessarily a trolling comment. It's a common sentiment, but unfounded and untrue. But it's a common sentiment or whatever. I don't necessarily consider that trolling. Exactly. But think about it. When WoW came out, how many other games were on the market? AAA MMOs were on the market, right? One. Just one. And I don't think it's exceedingly difficult to pick up a game and say, wow, this one game is better than this other game. Like, WoW didn't have a lot of competition to fight. Fuck, really? It didn't have a lot of competition. They had EverQuest they had to deal with, and that was like it. So if it could defeat EverQuest, it has secured its #1 spot. And that's what it did. It beat EverQuest, and that's all it had to do, and now it's top dog. While, on the other hand, things like Rift come out, and they have to beat EverQuest, World of Warcraft, Lord of the Rings Online, just everything you can possibly think of, they have to go ahead and defeat. All of it. Not kind of sorted, but they have to completely and utterly annihilate another product to be considered like worthwhile. And I don't think that's a fair assessment in the game industry. I'm gonna die again. Yep. Down again. We need a fucking healer. This is ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, there were two. It's Final Fantasy and EverQuest. And Final Fantasy, I don't think anyone is going to be looking like, that was the game to beat. That was the game. Oh, I remember. Like, I don't think anyone's going to say that. So it was like, literally, they had to fight one guy, and it was EverQuest. And that was it. And that's, I mean, they beat one game, and, I mean, markedly defeated. Soundly trumped. Yeah, but Dark Age of Camelot wasn't a AAA current generation MMO or whatever. We're comparing, you know, a Maserati to a Ferrari. We're not comparing a Maserati to a Cadillac DeVille. I mean, that's the difference. We're comparing new and new to new. Are we done with this yet? Can I go home yet? Is the rape over? Oh, God. All right. Yeah, I mean, it's a Cadillac, like, okay, Dark Age of Conan or Camelot, I'm sorry, Dark Age of Camelot was a Cadillac DeVille. It was comfortable, it was roomy, it had a lot of good things going for it, but it wasn't a current generation game, just like Ragnarok Online was a fun game, roomy, had a lot of stuff going for it at the time. But now those same things, if you introduce that into the current generation of games on the market, Dark Age of Camelot doesn't stand a chance, and markedly so, and there's a reason for it, and there's a reason you can prove it wouldn't work. God damn it! Because the game, you know, it's a little long in the tooth, those mechanics don't really work anymore, so I don't think it's unfair to... Fuck! No, not me, motherfucker. Someone else. Maybe I should start putting on tank gear. I don't know. I think that Terra's going to do fine. I know Terra's a niche game. There's really not a lot of in-game content to it. It's basically enjoy the combat, enjoy the game, and that's it. Enjoy the political system, and that's basically all you really get from that game, and that's fine. And if you're going into it like, it's got to be more, it's got to be the WoW killer, you're not going to enjoy it. No one's going to enjoy it at that point. Who?
We need this generator. If you destroy it, we'll all die.
Sounds like a personal problem.
My name is Mary. My village was raised in the war. The few of us who survived came here from shelter. We are not part of the resistance. We haven't hurt anyone. We just need someplace to go when our homes were destroyed.
Yeah. What else? Do I win? Come on.
It pains me terribly to hear it. I'm begging you. We have nowhere else to go. Can't you just leave the generator running?
I suppose there's no harm in leaving the generator with me.
Thank you so much.
Oh. Not yet.
Don't make me change my mind.
Shit, he didn't change his mind at all. He was gonna blow this motherfucker's sky. Oh boy. Fuck us. Oh, is that my AoE taunt? Well. Whoa, at least I've learned my lesson. Fuck. Cool. Akupa Ipan. I don't know what Kimball was saying, but he sounds like a grumpy old man. I think this is an awesome game, personally. And I'd look at it like this. I don't need the masses, like, okay to play a game. If I'm enjoying, for instance, if I want to play Ragnarok online, it doesn't have to be the world's most popular game for me to enjoy it. Defeat a resistance tactician. We're not done yet, are we? I don't think we're done. I think we need to kill a tactician. Or kill more, rather. Anyway, my point is I don't need, like, the internet's approval. Like, oh, this game is fail. Well, it's your money. Spend it the way you want to. If you don't want to play, cool, don't play it. That's fine. I'm enjoying it. And realistically, that's all that matters. Well, I'm glad everyone decided to stick out together in this room. Alright, go get him, Kim. What the fuck you doing? Fuck! Oh, God. Oh, God. We need a healer. This is so not working out. We are getting trumped. Oh, God. We are getting annihilated in this bitch. Alright, maybe now I'll have a level so I can actually do this.
You've returned from your mission against the Resistance Raiders. Excellent.
Was it a success? Did you drive out that thieving scum once and for all? Will Troida's convoys be safe?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I do. Exactly. If you just go in, sex to send a bunch of bullshit.
Resistance. Such a refugees were in need of power. I saw no reason to deny them.
I see. I suppose so long as the generator is not in resistance control, there's no cause for concern. There is nothing further.
Why is he cross-eyed? You guys see that? Do you see his eyes? It's crazy. I look at it like this. I don't need the internet's approval to play a game. I don't need people like, oh, it's the next big thing. Oh boy, this is where it's at. Like, no, it's fine. If you don't want to play it, cool. More power to you. I personally enjoy the game. There are actually a lot of aspects to the game that I like. A lot more that I like than I dislike. Is there room for improvement? You bet your ass there's room for improvement. But even that room for improvement isn't so much to say that this is a bad game. I mean, it's going through its growing pains. When you stop and just admire the game at how big it is and all the stuff that's going on, you start to realize, like, wow, I think maybe my complaints are, well, not necessarily unfounded, but I'm making it out bigger than it needs to be. Like, for instance, WoW's endgame, it took years, absolute years to become a competitive thing. I mean, when WoW launched, there were no raids. It had no raids in the game. Molten Core didn't exist. The concept of a 40-man raid was a foreign concept. It didn't happen. And now a game comes out, we expect 7 raids off the bat. We expect a race. We expect rated PvP, PvP, and battlegrounds. And all that stuff is good to have. I'm not saying it's not. But it's not realistic to expect all that stuff off the bat. Is it realistic to expect that stuff to come down the pipeline soon? Sure. Absolutely.
My men are working on it, sir, but until that shipment of plasteel I requested 3 months ago comes in...
I don't care. Tear it off the wall if you have to.
Is there anything wrong?
Don't worry about the colonel. He's loud and impatient, but we all are these days. What with the supply shortage.
Look at that beard.
Managed to find anything out of the lab. Captain Prequel and I have been doing our own research, but we haven't discovered much.
A lot of data there. Not sure how useful.
Have a look at this, Captain. I can't make head or tail of it.
This confirms our suspicions. The collocoids were being mutated to clean up the waste, and it looks like the chemical mutagen they were using could theoretically work.
That's it. That's our solution, right? We just replicate this chemical mutagen.
Sir, there's a problem.
All right.
Scientists defected to the Republic a few months back. We can't begin to replicate, let alone test the serum without him.
I guess we need to undefect.
Undefect him.
Undefect indeed. You certainly have a way with words, Sith.
The scientist
That's awesome.
Yanis Tirek, and is still on
Tirek.
in a Republic research base out near the top.
Why in the hell would you defect and then stay on the planet? Like, talk about you want somebody to shoot you in the... Talk about, like, egging someone. Shoot me in the face.
Men will bring it back. We'll give you your chance to swim in toxic waste.
The Republic's going to taste blood tonight.
Oh, and Sith, hurry back. I just got word that my son passed his trials on Korriban and is on his way to Balmora.
That's awesome.
Miss it.
Son. Is that Revel? Is Revel coming back? I don't know. I thought Revel was a pirate or something. I forget. Forgive me. I should have some blue boots. 8, 8, 10. 2, 8, 10. That's not good. Is this better? Nope, it's not. Yes, I mean, it's first off, it's like only 6 p.m. here in St. Louis, so people get on later in Terra, and the thing is, Terra is not a traditional MMO. It's not a play everyday type thing or whatever. He won't respond because he currently plays SWTOR and won't be able to respond unless he has 2 computers. This is still AWOL's channel. For the people on the For the Win channel, forgive me. I'm Bordo Von Cinnabon. This is For the Win. This is AWOL's channel. I just live stream here. We're doing a collaboration type deal, so forgive me if you don't, or forgive me for not introducing myself earlier. I will be able to respond next time. I'll fire up my second computer and I'll, look over occasionally, see what people are saying. So, sorry about that. Let's see what we got here. Yep, the guild. The whole thing is the guild aspect of Terra is fun. The problem with it right now, realistically, is there's nothing to do as a guild. It's not going to be Terra's going to have trouble until they activate the next portion of the Queen of the Argons patch. Until they do that, it's going to be kind of a touch and go situation. Until there's something where guilds can actually band together to do something and create some level of camaraderie, aka killing large amounts of Argons pouring forth from the sky. Until that happens, there's nothing really, at least on a PvE server, there's nothing to really do. And I don't think it's a bad game. I just think that it's not your traditional MMO. And again, for a lot of players, and I don't know why this is so hard to comprehend for a lot of players, different games or new games coming out don't necessarily have to follow the tried and true, tradition of level, do dungeons, do hard mode dungeons, to go to a raid. That's not the kind of game it is. Now, NMAS is actually working on adding that type of element to the game. It's not coming out tomorrow. It's not coming out in a month. But at least they acknowledge that that gameplay style is something that's missed. And I'm excited. I'm like, that's good. At least they see that there's a problem and they're willing to at least attempt to fix it. So, I mean, there you have it. Something, I mean, at least something to look forward to.
Come back anytime.
Yeah, Terra's trying something. They're treading in uncharted waters. I mean, could they do better? Yeah, bet your ass they could. But I don't think it's a terrible game by any stretch. I don't think it's dead. Again, a lot of people want to say a game is dead if it's not the game that people play. It's not, oh my god, have you not played this game? It's amazing. You know, like Diablo. For instance, I think Diablo is a fine game. It's a fine, fun game. But I'm not enamored by Diablo. To me, it's Gauntlet. It's always been Gauntlet. It's been a mindless brawler that you enjoy with your friends. You kill demons, you collect loot, rinse and repeat. But people are like, oh, this is the game of the year. It's amazing. I'm like, no, absolutely fucking not. This is not the game of the year. Not even close. But again, the masses, the drooling masses will say otherwise. That's just how it works. And in a couple of weeks, people won't be playing Diablo as much as they were when it first came out. For instance, the numbers of people who are logging into Diablo right now have significantly died down since the midnight release or whatever. It's significantly died down, and it will continue to have a decline. Will it have a steady or a healthy community? Sure, I'm sure it will. But it's not going to be the end-all, be-all game that some people really, really think it's going to be. I look at Guild Wars 2, Terra, Star Wars: The Old Republic. All of these games are just carving out a niche. They're carving out just a little piece of the MMO or online gaming market for themselves. And I think that's awesome. I think that's incredible. I think that's great. I think a lot of investors and a lot of people think that the MMO gamer pool is an inexhaustible supply, that the genre and the amount of players playing MMOs are just going to grow exponentially forever, which is obviously false. There's a point where you just don't have enough players. If you stretch them, if you pick all the MMO players across every game that is out now or has ever been out or is still running on life support or whatever you want to call it, right? And you go ahead and compare that to the number of MMO players getting into the genre, you're going to find out there are literally more games and more spots available than there are players. World of Warcraft is a fluke. It will never happen again. Even Titan, Blizzard's next project, I honest to God doubt that Blizzard is going to be able to recreate that same type of gaming experience, at least off the bat, because they're going to try some new elements. They're going to look at things that work and don't work, and they're going to lose subscribers, gain subscribers, back and forth, just like any game. So I think that World of Warcraft was a fluke, and as a result, you have all of these companies jumping in saying, oh god, if we could just get a piece of that action, we would be making, fuck tons of money. And this is the expectation that there can actually be more than one huge MMO. Like, it doesn't happen. for instance, people like WoW Killer this and WoW Killer that. Like that, nothing will kill WoW except for Blizzard when they pull the plug on it. And realistically, the only reason they pull the plug on that is if Titan was suffering to such a degree that they didn't have a choice but to try to sway people away from one product to a new one. I don't even think that would happen.
Welcome to the front, my lord. Your reputation precedes you. I'm Fixer 66. I'm with the operations branch of Imperial Intelligence.
But the question is, what makes a bad MMO? I've yet to find out when people say, well, that's a bad MMO or that's a good one. I have yet to find anyone who can explain bad versus good. It's a very subjective. Please look, don't touch.
Please look, don't touch.
It's all subjective. For instance, I don't give a shit about PvP. As far as I'm concerned, the PvP in Terra, I'm sorry, in SWTOR, in Terra is fine because I don't play it competitively. But if you ask someone who plays WoW PvP competitively, every other game, every other MMO on the market is trash by comparison because it doesn't have that same feeling. So I can't really see what's a good game and what's a bad one. I can see good aspects and bad aspects of it, but I've never run into an MMO that I could just say hands down, everything about it is garbage. Everything. It doesn't exist.
He'll give you the ordnance and show you how to transport it safely.
For me, a bad MMO is boring. Age of Conan. Age of Conan actually did a lot of good things. What happened was, after about level 20, the game kind of just falls off. Like, they just stopped caring. Like, there wasn't enough production value in the post-20, level 20 areas. So, even that doesn't make the game bad. It makes it an unsustainable game, but it doesn't make it bad. I mean, for instance, the boobs, 1, and 2, the decapitations in Age of Conan. That, to me, that's worth at least a playthrough to 20. I mean, especially if it's free to play. Why the fuck not play it to level 20? And if you played level 20 and you're like, oh, I hate this game. Great. You played at level 20, you got the good aspects of the game, you got the boobs and decapitations. Great. Log off, never play it again. But I've yet to run into an MMO, even a free-to-play one, that doesn't have some sort of saving grace. That doesn't have at least one aspect to it that's pretty damn good or inventive.
Nothing survives. So when I say I need you to find the first platoon, I mean it.
I'll head to the Okara factory immediately.
The ranking officer is Lieutenant Ruta. If the droids got him...
Yep, fan pressure, pressure from the backers, I'm sorry. All that stuff will push people, will push a company to release stuff early. It kind of happened to SWTOR too. I think BioWare was their own worst enemy in the beginning. I think they announced SWTOR way too early. When they announced it, I think they announced it in like 2009 or something like that.
Called with the details.
Just
I've got your comm units rigged and ready to go. Oh, my name's Toybox, or that's what they call me. I used to make... Well, never mind. Quite a plan the Fixer's got. What do you think of it?
It's closer to terrorism than warfare.
Yeah, if you ask me, Fixer 66 has been fantasizing about the results of this mission a little too much. He's assuming soldiers will be the ones stripping any resistance bodies, but civilians pick over bodies all the time. Refugees, sympathizers, sometimes you'll even see children do it.
It's regrettable. Unfortunately, no one makes a child-proof bomb.
No, but it's more practical to kill a soldier than a civilian, right? We want a high-value target. While I was making the bombs, I remembered I had some empty grenade casings lying around. Now, a comm unit anyone will activate. But if we trap the grenade to explode when armed, only soldiers will be in the blast. What would you think of that?
Give me the grenades. I'll put them to use.
I love how the guy's just running in the background. That's awesome.
Confuse them with any you might be carrying. Just put them on the resistance bodies, and Fixer 66 will love the results. I guarantee it.
That's a good plan. I mean, now we have to throw them all away, Dick. Like, all right, well. Anyway, yeah, I mean, anytime a company release, says what they're gonna do way, way, way ahead of fucking release, it's a bad thing. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love SWTOR. I was so hyped when they announced it. I think I was doing Black fucking Temple the day that I saw this. It was at I think they announced it at E3 or whatever, and they had the guys dressed as Jedi and Sith and Stormtroopers. They marched on stage, and the theme music started playing, and Daniel Erickson and the doctors were on stage, and I was like, whoa, what the fuck is this? This is amazing. And I came and I was like, this is going to be great. This should be out in a year. I mean, at, you know, a year and a half, 2 years at the most. And the game didn't come out for 3 fucking years. I think what BioWare should have done, they should have had more realistic expectations with their release or whatever. They should have waited. If I was BioWare, I would have waited at least another year. The next E3 is when I would have announced the product. On top of that, I would have planned what I released with the package, with the initial package, a little bit better. Not to say that they have to absolutely put everything they can possibly think of inside of a game, but adding stuff to it helps. I think the Dungeon Finder is one of those things that's just too good not to have in the game. So that's something that would have absolutely made the cut for me. It would have absolutely positively been one of the few things that no matter what happens, we're not shipping until that's in. And the people who are like, oh, you know, somebody's going to be a dick to me because I can't say anything to them, I'd have told them tuck their tampon string and grow the fuck up. And I need to bring out Kim Vol again. Oh, there's a vet. Never mind. So, I mean, there's some things that I don't agree with what BioWare did. I think when they trimmed down the roster of alien races, that was a bad idea. I think most of the other stuff they did was fine. I don't think they needed ranked PvP at first, but I think the ranked PvP patch for Star Wars should have come out maybe 2 months after the game initially launched, and be like, hey, guess what, guys? Random Tuesday, ranked PvP, enjoy. And then just dropped it like that. No big fluff, no mess. Just, hey, here you guys go.
I should have known Bessica wouldn't let me go without a fight. But sending a Sith seems a bit like overkill. Are you here to kill me, or are you going to torture me first?
My patience is wearing thin.
I risked my life to defect to the Republic. You think you can scare me into returning?
Yeah.
There are fates worse than death, and being an Imperial scientist is one of them.
Watching as I make a necklace from your entrails is another.
I won't go back to that place. You don't know what it's like.
I don't give a shit.
We're not expected to be men. We're machines, slaving day in and day out. No intellectual freedom, no creativity. I'm tired of building killing machines. I want to do some good for humanity. I can't go back there.
I can promise you, I'm not trying to build a killing machine.
I know better than to believe the promises of a Sith.
I'm gonna stab this guy.
Kill me. I'll never return to the Empire willingly.
Do this one thing for me, and I promise to get you back to the Republic.
You're serious, aren't you? What kind of a Sith are you, anyway?
The one who doesn't want to kill you. Jesus.
But I'm holding you to your promise. I can't be away from my research. With medical technology, nothing special, not even classified. Here, you should try one of these.
The fuck?
Sith, Major Bessica sent us in after you to collect the scientist.
Take him, but don't hurt him.
Of course. We'll see you back at Sobrik.
Look at that Fu Manchu mustache. That's awesome. That's fine. I look at it like this. I don't understand like this ridiculous overhype of a game. Like I think Guild Wars 2 is going to be awesome. I'm not overhyping it. I think Diablo 3 is fun. I just didn't overhype it.
Congratulations, by the way. I heard that you found our scientist. We'll whip up that serum and get you into that toxic waste pit in no time. But there's a problem, and I need your help.
I'd be happy to help any way I can.
It's my son. He arrived shortly after you left for the research facility, but then he went after some holocron, he called it. A few minutes ago, I got what I think was a distress call from him. He's in trouble.
He can handle himself.
Look, I didn't want to have to do this, but it sounds like I have no choice. This is my son we're talking about, and if you want your serum, you'll save him.
If you betray me, you die.
I have pull in important circles, and my brother is a higher-ranking Sith. You'll listen if you know what's good for you.
What?
All this time you've been running around, we've been fighting a war. I've been more than happy to help, but not at the expense of my son's life.
If you're going to make me feel guilty, I'll do it.
Sorry it had to come to this. I like you, I really do. We narrowed the origin of
Wow, this guy's a dick.
near the Republic crater outpost. I'm guessing the Republic's captured him, which means a lot of fighting to free him. Good luck.
Like Mona's got a point right there. Like, there's nothing wrong with Diablo 3. It's just not the game. You know, it's not, oh my god, I love fucking Diablo. You know, it's just not, to me, I don't get that feeling. So I don't, you know, tell people like, oh, you gotta get Diablo, it's so amazing. You know, it's a fine game. Same thing with SWTOR. If someone was to ask my honest opinion about SWTOR and like, oh, you know, is this game any good or not? It's alright. It's got issues. It's got stuff that's wrong with it. It needs work. It needs polish. It needs tweak. But I think overall it's a fine game. I think that, I mean, there are probably like 5 things I would add to this game to make it awesome. First thing I would add, obviously the dungeon finder, which they're actually adding, which is good. Next thing, more races and at least 2 more classes. So obviously that means 4 classes, but 2 more classes on each side. I would add that. Let's see, what else would I add? Aside from the classes, the races, the dungeon finder, I would add the ability to have macros and add-ons in this game. Just realistically speaking, that's something that you need. If you're going to copy WoW raids, you can't copy some of WoW's raids. You have to copy all of it. You can't do, all right, well, we're going to try to do it this way. No, the reason Blizzard doesn't do it that way is because it doesn't fucking work. That's what I would change. In addition to that, I would have, they haven't quite figured out how they want to do or weapons and stat allocation in this game. They need to alter it. I'm not going to listen to this guy. He's a bitch. Anyway, I don't like this guy. I don't like Fixer 66. But that's realistically the like bare minimum of change they need to. In WoW, they add a lot, or they have a lot of stuff that they don't change, or they have a lot of extra stuff that people don't see as necessary, such as add-ons, damage meters, all that stuff. You don't really need that stuff, and I can agree with that. You don't need it, but realistically, it makes the game just a more enjoyable experience. And why Blizzard has this, or BioWare has this thing where they're like, we don't want to have that. I just don't get it. Let's see what we got here. Alright, I'm just going to get out the fucking droid. That's probably not going to be a good idea, but I'm going to have him out anyway. I love damage meters. Not for raid, not for instances. I don't need them for an instance, but for a raid, it is paramount that I know what the fuck is going on. I mean, as a raid leader, as a damage dealer, as a fucking tank, just trying to solve the problem as to why is the boss not dead. To me, that's enough of a reason by itself to have damage meters. Now, some people don't agree with that, and I can respect it. But if you don't like the damage meters, don't use them. Or don't get, if someone's in a group being a dick about damage meters, saying, oh, look at me, I'm fucking smashing you in damage or whatever, politely tell them to shut the fuck up. If they won't, kick them. And if you can't kick them out the group, then leave. I mean, that's just like in real life. If I'm at the store and some dude behind me is being a dick, I could simply say, hey dude, I don't appreciate that, or you know, watch yourself or whatever. And if the guy's being a dick, I've got two choices. Either A, I can, forcefully fucking remove him from the situation, which is probably not the best thing to do in real life. 2, I can go ahead and ignore him and just deal with it. 3, I can leave myself. I mean, that's realistically my only options in real life. So why should my interactions in a game that, albeit are online, are not that much different than real life interactions, why should I get a pass because someone might be a dick? I mean, if some guy is making $150,000 a year and he comes into the grocery store and he screams, I make more money than all of you motherfuckers. I mean, he's right. He does make more money. It doesn't make him a nice guy. It doesn't make what he's doing polite. But he's right. He does make more money than me. So I can either A, fucking deal with it and let him be a dick, or B, I can say, shut the fuck up, nobody cares. I mean, I'm not picking on you, Mono, or whatever. I'm simply saying that's just how life is, or whatever. And I find it odd that people are so. Why would I go to the grocery store? Because you want to slum it this week. That's what I look at. It's just odd that people expect like their online interactions to be markedly different than their real life interactions. I mean, I do think it would be weird if some guy was screaming, I make $150,000 a year, bitch. Suck my dick. I mean, that's a little odd, but can't really, say that that's out of the realm of possibility. So yeah, it's the attitude or whatever. But what can you do? People are assholes.
The droid patrols will spot you. Apologies for shouting, but if they find one of us, they'll find all of us. I'm Lieutenant Butal, 5th Infantry, 2nd Battalion Besh Company. I'd say 1st Platoon, but there isn't one anymore.
Look like this. I will tell you this. As a raid leader, if I know we need more DPS, even without a damage meter, I will still scream, more DPS, goddammit. Dots. Where are my fucking dots? I only see 3 rows of dots. I know we can put up 5. Where are my other 2 fucking rows of dots? Blah, 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 blah. That's the fuck I'll say.
I can shoot the move. I think some of the bone is still intact. If I get ambushed enough patrols of battle droids, I can upload my packets and run before my painkiller wears off. What else can I do? I'm not going to ask you to go where I wouldn't.
Your courage is admirable but unnecessary. Give me the viruses.
You do have a maneuverability advantage.
Yeah, I hope so too, Kyle.
If you're keen to do it, I guess that's best. Here are the virus packets. Your targets are the probe droids.
Yeah, well, I yell it out all the time because sometimes I'm doing X and you guys are doing Y, and I'm not looking at what the fuck you're doing. All I'm seeing is the boss's damage or his HP bar is not going down the way it should be. So, I mean, also I'd like to take this opportunity to say that if you're a member of a guild, I'd like to say that running a guild is not as easy as people make it out to be. It's really not. Attitudes, schedule conflicts, group composition conflicts, raid nights, whether or not to push the group or to hold back, all that shit actually is a decision. And it's actually a mindful and very tactful decision if you're any sort of decent raid leader. So I would like to say that people, if you're in a guild or whatever and you're giving your fucking raid, you're giving your GM shit about whatever, give the guy a fucking break. It's not the easiest fucking thing in the world to get people to behave when there's no money involved. For instance, at your job, the way your boss keeps you in line is if you want to feed your family this week, you will do as you're told. A raid leader doesn't get that fucking luxury of holding money over your head. So trying to get Mike, who's the best tank you guys can find at the moment, to shut the fuck up and tank and not piss off Misty, the fucking psychotic healer you have, who's talking about killing herself 3 times a week. It's hard. It's harder than you would fucking want to believe to keep all of that shit going and maintain your sanity. And on top of that, the guy or the woman doesn't get paid for what they're doing. Not at all. I don't make a
for all the shit that I end up putting up with, I don't make a dime for any of it. I don't get paid in any way, shape, or form. I don't get extra loot. There's nothing to it except I'm trying to make the guild work. So, personal experience, hearing it from other guild leaders and raid leaders and whatnot, give the guy a fucking break, please. It's not necessarily the most fun task in the world, and a lot of times people like forget that they are not the center of the fucking universe. And I'm not calling you out in particular or anything like that. But if someone doesn't get a piece of loot and they're like, oh, you know, I've been wanting that all week, and that's all they've been thinking about, the raid leader has to realize, or the GM raid leader, whoever combo, just you deal with that shit all the time, and now I have to realize, all right, well, Stevie wants this, and if he doesn't get what he wants, he's gonna bitch and moan. So do I give in to Stevie and set a terrible fucking precedent just to keep the fucking raid going, or do I tell him, you know, fucking suck a dick? I don't know. I don't know. Is this a two-man? Please say this is a two-man. Is this a two-man? Please tell me it is. But hey, Crying, toss me the give me the quest. I don't think oh. Do I have the quest? Assembly line, assembly line, assembly line. I don't think I have it. Oh, I do. Fuck, it is it is a 4-man quest. Alright. Yep, anti-hero. I mean, you put up a lot of shit as a G. Alright, we can take these guys. Exactly, you put up with a lot of shit because you don't really get a choice as the GM. We can take them. It's not a big deal. As long as they don't come in like packs of 13, I think we should be fine. And I've got the droid out healing now. He's not great or anything, but at least I'm not immediately dying. Yeah, he was the biggest douche ever, just period. Like it was his job to be as annoying and as much of a dick as he possibly could be. So there's no Kit Kat. I did not say that. I did not say that, sir. But basically, that's the whole thing about GM, and then on top of that, anytime someone decides they don't want to play anymore, it immediately goes from someone's decision, I don't want to play, to now I have to fucking replace that guy if I want this to keep going. And then people look at you cross-eyed if, oh, we're not raiding tonight? Oh, what the fuck did you do or not do? Or like, whoa, 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 somebody didn't show up, and it went from their fucking fault to my fault. I mean, you see where, like, being a GM is not necessarily fun, but a lot of times, and the whole thing is such fucking unsung heroes. And I am on my soapbox today. If you guys don't like it, screw you. I put up with a lot of shit, and I've done it for years. Why? Because apparently I am a masochist of some sort, and don't know when to say when. But yeah, there you have it. I'm getting fucked up. Yeah, I tried to read that book. I really tried to read it, and a lot of the stuff in there is like fairly humorous because it's spot on. But you meet all fucking kinds. You'll meet your Yumis and your Yukis. You'll meet your Dukats and your anti-heroes. You'll meet your Stoles and your Khans. You'll meet your Shakies. You'll meet every kind of personality under the fucking sun. All of them not bad and all of them not good. You'll meet these people, and when you do, you'll be like, wow, I want to punch a baby. Yeah, so why is he fucking broken? I even have any? God, I don't even have any self heals. Fuck me. Good luck there, Chief. Yep, I'm down. I think we might be better off with double droids. I don't know. Oh my god. Soapbox all you want. Yeah, it's something. Ooh. Aw. So, to a playlist or favorites and select it and hit apply should work. Alright, hold on. Hopefully you guys can't see that. Alright, let me go ahead and check it out. Let's see. Add to. Favorites. Add it to favorites. Alright. And select it and hit apply should work. Okay. Let me go ahead and go to For the Win Broadcasting. Favorites. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay, let's see. We're gonna now add that to something. No idea. Yeah, I just don't see how this is working. Favorites or a playlist? Alright, let me try a playlist. Select it. No idea. Oh well, I tried. I might stream the raid again tonight. I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to or not. It's kind of a pain in the ass to stream the raid and then try to actually raid, so. I just want you to know I'm totally following you on this. I have no idea what the fuck we're doing. What is this? Kill droids. Okay, I can do that. See if I hit him, will he turn on me? Yep, he'll turn on me. It doesn't take shit to get these guys to fight. Well, BioWare is laying people off because BioWare doesn't really have a choice in the matter. Every MMO company lays off people after the initial game launches. Wow, this guy is tough as shit, but I am not dying. That's nice. Wait a minute, how did I end up fucking tanking? Oh well. Yeah, the game, what this game needs, the way for them to improve this game is not through some sort of PR trick or offering extra game time or anything like that. The way they can make this game better
right now is by adding the things to the game that the game needs. They need add-ons. They need macros. They need trinkets. Like, for instance, the itemization in this game is fucking horrendous. If you raid, remember in World of Warcraft, if you did Ice Crown Citadel, the most impressive trinket was like Deathbringer's Will or whatever the fuck it was, right? Off of the Saurfang fight. If you had that, that was the best trinket ever. It looked cool. It had a little stupid effect. For instance, even if they removed the effect from the game, such as turning into all those crazy creatures or whatever, and just had it that you got strong for 15 seconds or whatever, right? That would be cool. Just add like a little fucking glow effect or something. I mean, they could easily add something like that. This game would be amazing. The trinkets in this game are pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. They don't even fucking do anything. Like your stat stick fucking matrix cube is realistically better. I mean, a lot of times it is just better. It's static damage. Compared to the Ricotta or even the black hole stuff, it's not really that nice. And if they would just add like good trinkets and have the DPS have something to fucking nerd rage over or have a nerdgasm over, they would do so much better. I just don't know why they don't. Why am I fighting all these fucking things? Alright. This is not going to end well at all. Fuck! Are the droids down? Our droids are dead. Why are droids dead? Oh shit. Cleanse, he doesn't have any attacks. Why is he fighting the guy? Whatever. I don't know, but you guys let me know. Do you think that's how they could make this game better? If they would just work on the stuff they need to work on, like the base of the game, instead of trying to add stuff that realistically isn't going to make the game any better or any worse, whether or not so. Like, for instance, as much as I love the races, the Gormak, the Voss, all those things would be excellent, great fun, but realistically that doesn't make the game any better or any worse. The only way this game is going to get better or worse is if they actually attack or work on the systems. Like, for instance, I hate spamming my fucking 2 button to do damage. I think it's fucking ridiculous that that's the best they can come up with for heroic combat. No, that's lazy shit. Like, no, fuck that. Alright, and there's a couple more down here. Alright, I'm going to try to sneak around and get these other ones, because I really don't want to fight anybody else. I should be able to get this one. Alright, that's 3. Alright, there's 4 right here, and if I can get on the other side, I guess I can get 5. Alright, let me see if we can just hide over here. Maybe they'll go away. Maybe they'll just run away. I don't know. I pressed the fucking button. Shit. Alright, I'll just stand here in case he knocks me back or something. Oh boy. Yeah, but anyway, they really just need to work on the things that made WoW a competitive game. Adding PvP or whatever, ranked PvP is a good start, but adding ranked PvP, adding some way for people to go ahead and check their ranking in terms of server progression against one another. I mean, I just want them to get away from all this Care Bear shit of, well, we can't do that because we might hurt little Timmy's feelings. Well, if little Timmy is fucking retarded, little Timmy doesn't deserve to kill the boss. It's not about equal or whatever. Well, I want to be able to see all the content. Timmy isn't playing the fucking game anymore. So who the fuck cares what Timmy's feelings would feel like if the damage meters were up and he found out he was at the bottom of the rankings? Like, who cares? And I'd love for these two numbnuts to heal me. There's two of them, and no one's healing. Why are they punching the fucking boss? Well, that did nothing. Down I go. This guy is tough as balls. It's ridiculous. Non-anal retention? Probably. I don't know. People get so upset about what... I don't know. I assume that it's these unrealistic expectations that they have in their head. And when they don't get those expectations met in real life, they're like upset about it. Like, this is horseshit. You guys lied to me. Like, no, I don't think anybody lied to you. I think the game is exactly what the game was ever going to be or whatever, at least in the beginning. For instance, people want to compare SWTOR to World of Warcraft. World of Warcraft had 7 years to get where it is now. And some people could say it's on a decline if they want to, but 7 years to turn into whatever the fuck it is now. SWTOR has been out 6 months. 6 months and people are already saying, oh, this game is dead. Like, no, the game is fine. It's 6 months old. I mean, you don't expect a 6-month-old to do what a fucking 7-year-old could do. No, you expect a 6-month-year-old to do 6-month-old shit. Poop their pants, have tantrums, go through growing phases, teething, all that shit you expect 6 months old. At 7 years old, I expect my 7-year-old to be cutting the fucking grass. Thus, here we have World of Warcraft versus Terra. I mean, not Terra, but SWTOR. That was a mistake. I shouldn't have pressed that button. No. SWTOR didn't have 7 years to copy this. Let's say the game has been in development 4 years. 5 years. We'll go 5 years, right? When this game was in development, WoW was still in, like, had just launched Burning Crusade. So let's say day one of development, this game was trying to be modeled after Burning Crusade. When Burning Crusade came out, it did not have a dungeon finder. Well, it did have a dungeon finder, but not until the game had been out for a bit. No, was it out day one of Burning Crusade? Was it out day one Burning Crusade? I don't remember. This is a good point. But anyway, they didn't have 7 years to copy the game. I'm sure there's a lot of stuff that's there is a lot of stuff that's wrong with World of Warcraft that SWTOR was trying to avoid doing. There's stuff that's just inherently bad about World of Warcraft and Terra. SWTOR is trying to take a more refined approach. Like, do we need these things? Now, it's easy 2020 hindsight to say, yes, you guys needed that, but trying to get away from World of Warcraft and not be called a copy, they were trying to take a different approach, and I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. Maybe ill-advised. Bad, no. I think it's reasonable what the level of success it's having. I think it's reasonable the amount of decline it's having. I think that everything that is actually happening in SWTOR is actually reasonable. I can't think of one... Oh shit. I can't think of one aspect of this game that is just like unrealistic what should be happening. Should we kill this guy? Or should we just walk around him? I don't know. I don't know. I don't think it's reasonable to say. I mean, let me go ahead and stop the music for just a second. I don't think it's reasonable. And I'm not saying that you can't want something, but I don't think it's reasonable to expect SWTOR day one to be World of Warcraft after 3 years of refinement. I don't think that's reasonable. And if you believe that that is reasonable, any game that comes down the pipeline from now on ever is going to be bad, by just virtually by comparison. For instance, the Secret World is going to be bad by comparison because you're giving it an unrealistic expectation or set of expectations to fulfill. Terra is going to be bad because that's unrealistic what you're asking for. You can't expect 7 years of refinement on day one. I mean, we're talking completely different systems. We're talking a different role element they're going for. We're talking a different combat. We're talking different everything. And to expect to get all of that day one is realistically just not going to happen. So I'm willing to give a game a year to kind of get its shit together. If you're not, that's completely your call. I'm just going to fucking die in here again. Oh my god. I don't have any tank abilities yet. I might want to rethink this whole hybrid spec that I've got right now. Wait, hold on. Michael Phelps is the epitome of a world-class swimmer, right? I should try to be, if I'm going to want to be a world-class swimmer, I should try to be like Michael Phelps. That's a reasonable expectation. But simply saying because I am not Michael Phelps, I am thus a failure, isn't a fair assessment. I mean, at that point, you set everyone else on the planet just about up for failure. Now, to say that, hey, you should try to reach that bar, and if you don't reach that bar, but you do something that's interesting or decent, then that's a success. Is it a roaring success? No. But is it reasonable? Yeah. Exactly. Well, I don't know if he was born with 40% less muscle mass. Hey, what's up, Core? Uh-oh, the music stopped. I just think it's unrealistic, our expectations on day one. Not to say that our expectations should never be fulfilled. Never saying that it shouldn't be fulfilled. But I think our time frame in which, as gamers, I just think that we have this level of entitlement that is laughable at best. For instance, if World of Warcraft was the absolute king, undisputed king of MMOs, and they had no room for improvement, then World of Warcraft would be in decline, but yet it is. It's in decline like everything else. Perhaps it's just the genre has reached critical mass, and there is no more growth. There's no more growth potential. Perhaps that's it. Perhaps WoW got as good as it's ever going to get. For instance, I have not heard one person excited about Mist of Pandaria. I've heard some people like, okay, this should be, different or interesting, or I don't know, maybe a step in the right direction. But I haven't heard anybody. I'm talking professional reviewers who are like, this is the end-all, be-all MMO. Thank God they found the pandas. I haven't heard anybody say that. So maybe the genre has just reached critical mass. Perhaps there is no more room for improvement, and I would love to fucking get out of here. Oh, we've only got 2 more to kill. I guess there's 2 more over here we can kill. Everyone's waiting for Guild Wars 2. I don't think so. Guild Wars 2 seems like it's going to be a fun game, but it's just, I don't know. Again, I haven't heard anyone talk about Guild Wars 2. Well, I'll tell you what. I've heard people say it's the second coming of Mario, but that's just fucking fanboyism. And as soon as I hear fanboyism, like, I turn off my fucking ears. Like, it's pointless trying to have a conversation with somebody like that. It's like trying to have a conversation with a devout Catholic. Like, you can point to facts, show them a fossil, throw it over their head, and it means nothing. So, same deal with fanboyism. So I don't fuck with Guild Wars 2. I've bought the game. I've got my pre-order. I've been in the beta. I was in the stress test, the whole shebang or whatever. But it's just not that amazing a game. Just some Hail Marys right now. it's just one of those things where people just are unreasonable. And gamers, I can see that. As gamers, we're just unreasonable fucking people. Oh, shit. Is it in this room? I guess it is. Alright, I'm going to CC one of these. This is not going to end well. Please don't punch it. Please don't punch it. Don't fucking punch it. And he punched it. Come on. Am I getting shot in the ass? Okay, I'm not getting shot in the ass. Fucking robots. Yeah, everybody's waiting for Family Guy Online. That's what I say. It's every game has a niche. It has a core audience. It has that group of people who think it is the best thing ever made. And Guild Wars 2 is no different, and deservedly so. I think it's going to be an awesome game. I don't think it's going to be the end-all, be-all game that a lot of people want it to be. And once that occurs, I don't think they're going to be very satisfied gamers. I think they're going to be very irate and unreasonable, because that's what gamers are, irate and unfucking reasonable. I mean, just watch. Just watch. Give ArenaNet... Let's say ArenaNet doesn't drop Guild Wars 2 until September. That's my theory. They're not going to drop until September. There's going to be all this unreasonable fucking hype around Guild Wars 2. And then September, let's say September 22nd happens, or whatever, arbitrary date. And that's their release date. You're going to have this huge swell in people buying the game who are talking, oh, it's so great. And then give it about a month later, and then people are going to start bitching. Because that's just how it works. I mean, I'm not making up the rules. I'm just telling people how it works. Is my Crushing Darkness actually doing anything to him? Fuck. I should have made some better fucking med packs. Oh God, I want to be able to heal myself. This is so fucking ridiculous. I don't have any healing abilities yet. I mean, I know it's an assassin or whatever, but I don't have any self-heals going on right now. And I'm probably way... God, this dude is kicking the shit out of me. Oh, come on. Yep, he got me again. Yeah, Secret World's gonna be hit and miss, like, by far. Alright, let's get the fuck out of this room. Jesus Christ, I'm going back to the med center. Screw this. I've had enough ass whooping for one day. Hold on. Yeah, I don't know. I think we have this, as gamers, I think we have this level of entitlement that is amazing. How fucking privileged we kind of assume that we are or feel that we are. So, one day, am I in the conversation? No? Alright, well fine then. Dick.
You're alive. And not only that, my comlink is picking up signals again. Is everything uploaded?
That network should be choking.
Is it worth resubbing?
It's my turn.
I'll be honest with you.
To measure the extent of the damage the virus has caused.
It's not a bad game. If you're interested in playing, just playing alts and making, you know, doing a couple of raids, and you're not playing this game to be a replacement to a everyday WoW thing, then it's fine. Like, if you play this every day thinking you're gonna come in here and get WoW, you're not, because it's not World of Warcraft. It's not that kind of fucking game. The combat takes longer, the bosses take longer, they're not as flashy, the difficulty of the raids isn't basically on par with World of Warcraft. I mean, it's got a long way to go to become the end-all be-all fucking game. But as far as just a fun game is concerned, oh, absolutely. I think that when you come in and you look at the game with a level of reasonable expectation, it's definitely worth $14.99 a month. But if you look at it like it has to replace Blizzard, then no. I mean, that's like saying I'm going to pick this 14-year-old kid off the street and he's pretty good at basketball, so this is the new Michael Jordan. Like, it doesn't work like that. You know, all things in fucking time. And when the next big thing comes, if it ever comes, great. I think SWTOR messed up in one aspect realistically, above all else really, that this game does not run very well on a lot of like cheap computers. It just doesn't run very well, and that's a problem. That's a reason that World of Warcraft does exceptionally well, that it plays on a fucking toaster. This game, you need a fairly beefy rig or whatever, and even that isn't necessarily enough to ensure that you're going to get a smooth game. And that's a problem for a lot of people. A lot of people have like really shitty computers, and there's no nice way to say that. If you got a computer that's older than fucking 4 years old or 3 years old, you've got a shitty computer. Like, technology perpetuates off of itself, and if you've got an old computer, you're going to get crappy performance. And in World of Warcraft, I can play that shit off of my fucking watch. I can play World of Warcraft. So, of course, you're going to get more players who are able to play World of Warcraft at a reasonable level, a reasonable clip. Here, not so much. So, the huge player base worth of people that they had initially that could have bought the game aren't going to buy it because they can't run it. So, you've shrunk the pool. From there, you have this cinematographic, very talkative game, and you have a lot of Modern Warfare players. And when I say Modern Warfare players, I'm talking the Modern Warfare generation. We're talking the players who enjoy boom, 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 quick fucking kills, a second worth of happiness. These are the scoreboard, the fucking achievement players, the look what I did, and then they fucking forget. It's a group of lemmings. And that's the Modern Warfare generation. I'm not saying that game particularly. I'm simply saying people who are like, kill streak, unstoppable, I teabagged you, bitch. All that stuff, you're not going to get that in SWTOR. So you get the pool of potential people shrinks even further. And from that, then you got people who just don't fucking like Star Wars. Shrinks even further. I don't know if that would raise it or shrink it. I'm not sure. Then you get people who are very competitive, and SWTOR doesn't really have that competitive element to it, so it shrinks again, and shrinks and shrinks and shrinks. So what once looked like the fucking fields of fucking ambrosia and shit, it looked like this never-ending supply of players and money has now shrunk to a fairly small pool of potentials. And there we are. That's what happened to SWTOR. I think the people at BioWare kind of assumed people were going to play like 1 or 2, maybe even 3 characters to max level before they really jumped into raiding, before they really got into it. And they were surprised when people blew through their story in 3 or 4 days and were already raiding. I mean, I was one of those people where I blew through my bounty hunter in total time, like days. I blew through my bounty hunter in 4 days. And that's not even a fucking record. That's not even close to a record. I think the fastest person I've seen leveled from 1 to 50 in 2 days. So they didn't expect to have that many people who are like, I guess, hardcore raiders. I don't even like using that terminology. And so when they blew through the fucking end game, because it's not hard, it's a gear check if anything, but it's not hard. They blew through this stuff and they're like, well, now what? And there's no rankings, there's no world first, there's no way to boast or brag, or there's no congratulations. It's none of that. It's none of that camaraderie you got with World of Warcraft. Hell, they don't even have server forums, which that is inexcusable, by the way. There's no way to boast or brag, so it kind of removes a lot of the competition from the game, which I'm sure did not help. No, they don't have server forums. They have server group forums or whatever. That's not server forums. Every server that starts with the together is not a server forum. A server forum would be the Harbinger. That's it. And unless they've changed in the last 24 hours, so not all the servers with the word the. That's at first they weren't even gonna fucking do that. And I'm like, really? So when we had all this opportunity like a month and a half before the game came out to really build a level of camaraderie up, no, none of that. None of that shit. They just kind of were like, all right, well, let the chips fall where they fucking may. I think they're too cautious at Bioware. I think they're really, really like too timid to make like a lot of groundbreaking changes or whatever. They're very, they approach everything with a lot of trepidation, which isn't a bad thing, but in a competitive environment like that, that hurts you. And I don't know if they understand that yet. They probably have learned it now that they're licking their wounds. But yeah. Yeah, but my whole point is, why should I have to hide all the other ones? Why can't I just have the Harbinger? Why do I have to go through all this extra shit? That's what I'm saying. They're afraid to have... I don't know why they're afraid. I think they said at first they don't have enough forum moderators to deal with a load like that. And I'm like, that's bullshit. That's horse shit. Like, a forum moderator doesn't have to read every fucking post. As long as some threads just don't get out of hand, I think you're alright. And I think you should be able to tell this, just have some sort of tracker to see what is the most popular thread, or what thread has grown by a certain percentage at a certain time. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous, the excuses they give for stuff like that, so... It was spooky. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the UI thing, I'll give them a little bit of leeway with the UI thing. And I'm sure some people were like, that's horseshit, you shouldn't give them any leeway. I'll give them just a little bit of leeway with that, because when they initially had the UI, when I played it the very first time in beta, the UI wasn't bad. The UI actually wasn't bad at all. It was actually really usable and friendly. And they got a lot of negative fucking press for the UI. Like, a lot of people hated it. And so they went back to the drawing board and they were like, alright, well, let's try another default UI. And people hated that one too. Just like the fucking cooldowns in this game, no matter what they do, people seem to hate it. And so they're like, alright, well, we didn't want to open up the game to mods. So, well, let's try a movable UI before we have to resort to allowing mods. And they're trying their best not to open this game up to mods. I mean, they're really, really trying. I don't know if it's a fucking fool's errand or not, but they're trying nonetheless. And in doing such, they are putting themselves behind the 8 ball. WoW doesn't have to, and I'm just using WoW as an example, WoW doesn't have to waste time with fucking with the UI. They just don't. Because they already have a system in place where you can play the game any way you want to, through the use of third-party mods. SWTOR is effectively making extra work for themselves. The UI community, as small as the community of SWTOR can be, it is capable of producing some fairly decent mods and UI elements if they would just let them. Therein lies the problem. That's literally all it is. A lot of the time that's dedicated to fixing this problem or that problem, or I want to switch items or whatever. All that shit could be solved with the fucking API, basically the ability to make mods opened up. they would solve a lot of their own problems. They're honest to God, BioWare's their own worst enemy in that regard. They just are. I wish they weren't. I mean, I love the company. You guys can make Secret World videos too. We'll just upload them to the hubs. So you guys can make any kind of videos you want to. I'm actually making a SWTOR video either tonight or tomorrow where I do my soapbox. I'm actually putting up an homage to Adam Sessler. So I'm going to download Sessler's soapbox intro. I'm going to replace Sessler with Bordeaux. And that's what I'm doing. About the things that SWTOR could change and make it a really good game. It's not bad, it's got fucking issues. Much like a really hot chick at a raver club. Oh, she's not a bad broad, she's just got issues. And if you guys don't know, Adam Sessler is, like, I have a few heroes. One, Professor Tyson is one of my my personal heroes. Removing the stupidity from the universe is his basic, I guess, goal, so to speak. And then two, Adam Sessler. Because Adam Sessler is a very, very intelligent guy. And he has been in the game industry for, like, years, eons. I mean, he's been in there since he had hair. And the guy is very well read, very knowledgeable, and actually looks at things that happen in the gaming industry like you would like anyone else in any other industry. He actually stops, takes note of trends, the way things work, and actually applies it to the industry instead of listening to the fucking slobbering masses when it's, oh, I hate this, or this is too much, or that's too much. And actually takes input from other people. For instance, if you guys haven't watched the show, it's called Feedback, which is basically a very nice form of DPS. Basically, the idea for the Disgruntled Player Sanctum came from Feedback. So if you guys have never seen that or whatever, you should go check it out. It's on G4. And by the way, G4, if you guys need an angry black guy to rant, I'm your man. I'm your man. I know the Hollow God, Mr. Sessler, is, I think he's retiring either this year or next year. Hire me. I can be angry and black and make commentary. There you go. I don't know if they let him go. I thought he was retiring. I mean, the guy's been in the industry for like the last 20 years, basically, or whatever. I remember when I saw him when he had hair. I think the very first time I saw him, he had hair, and he wasn't even on G4. So. So, I'm just saying, G4, if you're looking for an angry black guy to rant. There you go. But the guy is awesome. And so a lot of times when I quote unquote have an original thought, it's because what would Sessler do? Sessler would probably complain and curse a little bit. All right, I'll do some of that. I think that as gamers we've gotten to a point where our favorite medium is getting away from that of a child's toy. I mean, I get upset when someone looks at a game and says that's for kids, and I basically tell them go fuck themselves. I look at a game as an outlet, an escape, something fun to do, and most of the time way more entertaining than the fucking drivel that's on television, and that's actually creeping into the fucking movie theater, which is astonishing. But yeah, I look at games as an art form, a medium of expression. And when someone looks at it and calls it a child's toy, it pisses me off. Much like how Sessler basically told, I can't remember what his name was. What his name is? Guy who's missing his chin, Ebert. Yeah, that guy. That guy basically was like, said video games are that of, toys for children and nothing more, and they can't be anymore. And he made a point, like, I guess a lot of people got upset with the guy, Robert Ebert, because that's kind of fucking offensive. That's like saying music isn't the same as a movie, right? That's kind of fucking offensive if you're a musician. So a lot of people got up in arms about that, and Sessler made a good point. He said, why do we give a fuck what Robert Ebert's jawless ass has to say about video games? Who cares? Who gives a fuck what someone in their ivory tower without a jaw says about video games? He's never played a video game. He's never been in a production studio. He's never written for a video game. Who the fuck cares what Robert Ebert says? May his fucking jawless ass fall off a bridge. And I thought about that. He did, obviously, Cecily didn't say that. That's me making a point. But he makes a point that why do we care what this guy in his ivory tower looking down on us huddled in dirty masses is what he thinks? Fuck that guy. Fuck him. He's fucking 60 years old, and apparently he's a dick because if there's any sort of fucking reference to karma, a guy who talks for a living, not having his bottom jaw, irony, sounds like a fucking fair punishment to me. And then he has the nerve, his old ass has the nerve to get on Twitter and talk about Ryan Dunn's drunken fucking car explosion. And yes, did he drive drunk? Yes, Mr. Dunn drove drunk. Yes, he was driving a car that was filled with rocket fuel. Yes, did he kill one of his friends? Yes. Is he a dick for doing that? Absolutely. But you don't say that the day after the man dies. You at least have enough courtesy for the body to be fucking cold before you make some sort of asshole statement. And someone in the media I like him, and someone you would think would be wise enough to understand, shut your fucking mouth. Don't say something on Twitter because it's going to come back to bite you in the ass. The Westboro Baptist Church, and like this, and I don't try to get off topic on stuff like this too often, but it happens, those people are not going to stop until someone gets killed at one of those protests. I'm not inciting anyone to violence. I'm not telling anyone to do anything. I'm simply saying, I put myself in the situation of, or the position of someone who's lost a loved one. Let's say my brother was a colonel in the army and he got killed by an IED, right? And I'm not entirely in my right mind to begin with. So on top of that, my brother is now dead. And I have to bury him, and it's his funeral. He's getting fucking military honors or whatever, and I'm putting my brother in the ground. I'm saying goodbye. I am not in my right mind. I'm crying. I'm upset, emotionally, visibly upset, and I'm driving my brother's car. He died. He left me in his will, his Lincoln Navigator. This thing is a fucking killing machine. A Lincoln Navigator with a snowplow on the front, he's left me his Lincoln Navigator, no problem. And I'm at the funeral, and I see these jagoffs basically bashing my brother. They don't fucking know him, and they're doing this for attention. And their kids are out there, and their wives are out there, and all these shenanigans are going on. And I'm thinking to myself, again, not in my right mind, I get into my car with my snowplow on the front, and at 60 miles an hour, I get a good running start from down the block. I just hit the fucking curb and run over as many of them as I possibly can. They're not going to stop until something like that happens. Now, if they want to go protest a concert, go right ahead. But you don't protest someone's funeral when people are fucking on edge already. You don't do that. You don't, and especially just to do it just to fucking get a reaction. Because one day they're going to get a reaction, and someone's going to get their fucking child is going to get killed because of that. Because they have their kids out there with those signs and shit. It's one thing if it's adults, but you got somebody's kid out there. Someone's kid's going to get fucking run over by someone who is not in their right mind. And guess what? They very well may get away with fucking murder. It might get knocked down to manslaughter because they were temporarily insane. And a judge might side with them just to prove a point. I'm simply saying that type of shit, I don't know. And then they'll try to make him a martyr. But I'm simply saying that in a situation like that, that I'm putting my brother in the ground or whatever, you know, and you guys are over here, you're giving him giving a dead man shit. I might run over you, and yeah, of course I'm gonna go to jail. I killed 6 people with a fucking snowplow and an SUV. Yeah, I'm going to jail, but I killed 6 people. You're already dead. There's nothing that the judge or the jury or the legal system can do to me to undo my deed. I've killed 6 of them. That shit like that will happen. Eventually, it's gonna happen. Now, thank God no one's done, or thank Odin that no one has done that yet. But it's a possibility, and these people are fucking playing with fire. That's all I'm saying. It's one thing to be a douche at a concert, but you don't fuck with people when their fucking, you know, emotions are running high like that. That's bad juju.
What's happening here?
Last week, those wretched rebels managed to reprogram the defense turrets around Sobrik to detect and target Imperial troops. The engineers I sent to fix them were massacred. My only hope is to find someone willing to brave both the rebels and the turrets themselves to repair them.
These rebels must learn they have no chance against
I mean, maybe you guys see it differently. I don't know.
The turrets are scattered around the perimeter of the city and guarded well by rebel spies. We need to use this to neutralize their defenses.
I did bonus round special on game trailers last week. I don't know. I hope that he's not leaving. But as far as I can tell, this is his last year at G4. Maybe this is just his last year at G4. Maybe he's not retiring from gaming. Maybe he's just retiring from G4. He is editor-in-chief. I mean, and I'm sure that's a stressful job. I know he's married. I don't think he has any children. So maybe this is just a life moment where he just doesn't have enough time to be editor-in-chief and work at G4. Because the things the guy does, like in a day, like that guy looks like he has a long fucking day every day. So I don't know. Maybe that's the shtick. That don't even make me angry. To me, it's scary that these people they can't think for themselves. You can't see. Okay, let me play this. Let's say I was a devout nut job, all right? Because these are not Christians or whatever. As far as I understand, many people who claim to be Christians are anything but. And this is not a question of whether God or Jesus exists. I'm simply saying the concept on paper. For instance, if I wanted to say I was a Rastafarian, I don't fit what a Rastafarian is on paper. So thus I'm not one. I can claim to be one, but it doesn't make it true. Same thing with Christianity. It's not a question of does God exist or Jesus or anything. That simply saying the teachings of a guy named Jeebus and what he said do to call yourself a Christian versus what you actually fucking do. Two different things. So first getting that out of the way, I'm a absolute nut job. I'm a complete and absolute nut job. I can't think for myself. I just follow what some guy in a pulpit tells me to do. Alright, so I'm a nut job. It just doesn't make sense. Like, even if a man of God in a pulpit telling me to do X, Y, Z, I at least have enough common sense to say, that doesn't seem quite right. But if you're telling me to do it, alright, but I'm not going to put my child in harm's way. I mean, not even in the name of God would I put my child in harm's way. Taking your child to a fucking funeral where a lot of people are armed and holding up signs that you know what type of reaction they're going to get. And thinking that the news camera is going to save you. People have been murdered on live television. There was a case in the 80s where this guy, I don't know, I guess family friend or whatever, had molested this little boy. And the father was like just beside himself. He had kidnapped, molested, raped this little boy for a month or whatever. And basically the cops got to the guy before the father could. And he confessed to all of it, and they were moving him. They were actually getting ready to arraign him for trial. And they were walking him from the out of the hallway in the courthouse to the courtroom, and there was a bank of payphones. If you guys don't know what a bank of payphones is, that is when you have several payphones set up next to each other. And anyway, the father had put on a trucker hat, had grown out his beard, put on sunglasses, and he looked like Alan from The Hangover. And he was standing at the payphone. He had a snub-nosed revolver. And he was over there pretending to make a phone call. And the guy walked behind him, and he turned around, spun around so fucking quick, put the gun to the guy's side of his temple, and blew his brains the fuck out right there in front of like 8 cops. They subdued him. They took the gun from him. They had him on the floor, and he got off. Judge let him go. People get murdered on television. The TV camera does not stop the bullets. Another case in the 80s, a woman had killed this man's daughter for whatever reason, I think she wanted to assume her personality or whatever. She had killed her, cut up her body, thrown it in a wood chipper. And the only evidence that they had ever met was they found some of the girl's molars in the woman's mulch. Anyway, father just could not stand what the legal system had done, because it let her go because it couldn't prove that she actually had anything to do with it. It was all circumstantial evidence. It's her molars on her property, but there's no proof that she did anything. And the father just could not fucking take it. Just could not take it. And so they let her go. She actually had the nerve to show up to the girl's the cemetery, show up to the girl's grave or whatever, right? And anyway, the guy was like standing out in the fucking crowd or whatever, and the media had made a fucking circus out of it or whatever. And he shows up with the fucking revolver. He shows up with a 9mm. Not 9mm, it's again a snub-nosed fucking revolver. And the girl is walking by, and she's getting out the car, and she's got on these big sunglasses. She's like, I just want to come and pay my respects. And the father comes up out of nowhere. I mean, like, jumps over the reporters and point blank puts it on her fucking nose and blah! Brains all over the fucking pavement. I'm like, holy shit. Like, that's what happens when you fuck with people. And again, he got off scot-free too. That's what happens when you fuck with people who are on edge already. Like, the judge is like temporary insanity. What else do you want me to call it? Like, you fucked with this guy and he snapped. I mean, you did everything you could possibly do to him and he snapped. So in the case of the Westboro Baptist Church, like, something like that is going to happen, and whoever snaps is going to get away with it scot-free. Scot-fucking-free. To a contract that's in the cess. He will continue to work consulting on film adaptations. Okay, that's cool. I don't know. Maybe that's just too much or whatever. But to me, I thought that was like, well, that's a fitting end, I guess. Film adaptations of video games. Wait a minute, what has he worked on previous to this? I mean, what has Adam Sessler worked on as far as a consultant? I'm just thinking to myself, like, what has he worked on? Like, what game what video or movie or whatever has he worked on that he would be proud to say, yeah, I had a hand in that? I'm like, I can't think of too many games or movies about games on the market that are actually any good. Like, the Prince of Persia is probably the best one out, and that's you can sleep through that and not fucking feel bad about it. So what game? I mean, they're gonna do, unless they're gonna do a Halo movie, which I don't know how that's gonna work out. And I think they put the World of Warcraft one on fucking halt, like, indefinitely. I don't know what they're really gonna do. I mean, unless what? Oh, yeah. Battleship. Oh, God. Oh, God. Doom is so bad. It was so bad. Like they went out of their way. Like, how can we make this possibly worse? But the only reason the Prince of Persia is anyway near decent, and I'm not calling it good, but near decent, is because it's Jerry Bruckheimer and the unlimited funds of Disney. That's the only reason. So Hitman isn't even good. Ugh. There's so many bad video game movies. You know what would be a really good movie? Mass Effect. Mass Effect would be a great movie. A great movie. I mean, no matter who they cast as Shepard, they're gonna catch all hell about it. But it's a pretty good story. I mean, it's space. The aliens are pretty doable. I mean, yeah, they might have some trouble with the Krogans,
But the Asari, you know, with some good prosthetics, the Asari are very believable. Then you have the humans. The Krogans might be a little tough, but you know, if it was easy, everybody'd do it. I don't really know. It seems pretty Garrus. You could do Garrus. Prosthetics. I don't want to see any CG for Garrus at all. I want to see a guy in a fucking rubber suit hating his life that fact he signed up for this. That's what I want to see. None of that Dragon Ball Z bullshit where we just get lazy and do everything in CG. Oh god, first off, there's no reading in the game, let alone make a book out of it. Ghost Recon, that might be alright. But again, Ghost Recon isn't really a stretch of the imagination. Unless you're going to talk about Future Soldier or something, but there aren't too many games on the market, or that I can think of, that would translate very well to cinema. I need to turn that in, and then I need to go all the way over there. But perhaps I'm wrong. I don't know. The book was better than the movie. Oh god. What would be a good one? Mass Effect would be. I'm not gonna lie. Let me tell you my fever dream. Star Wars: The Old Republic, the story of Hylo Viz, through the eyes of Hylo Viz, would be an amazing movie if they cast it right and they did the fucking story right. Oh my god. Breaking the Mandalorian blockade as a Miri Allen, so you have your first non-human main character, and it's a female for Star Wars, right? So we have a female non-human main character, positive role model for Star Wars: The Old Republic, from Star Wars: The Old Republic, right? Take that, combine it with seeing the world through the eyes of a bounty hunter. So we'll have the main character be Hylo Viz. But as she'll put together, just like in traditional Star Wars fashion, she's going to put together a ragtag group and have it be a bounty hunter, and have it be a guy who is force sensitive but is not a Sith, but teach us the way that the Sith would behave or whatever. There's so much they could do with that, or do a story focusing around the Sith. I mean, as far as the canon of the Sith is concerned, it's like brand new territory. There is very, very little reference in the initial Star Wars trilogy about the Sith. I think Obi-Wan says the word Sith one time. That's it. There's nothing else. He just says Sith one time. I mean, does that seem a little odd to anybody else? I mean, there's virtually no interest in showing the other side of the coin, and I think that would be a great movie. And let's not follow fucking Jedi. Let's follow somebody. Let's follow the anti-hero. I think Lucas has finally gotten the point that he's bad at making movies. I don't know if that's forever, but I think Lucas has the point that he's pretty terrible at what the fuck he does for a living. So maybe that will entail him never touching Star Wars again. I don't know. But I think he soundly has gotten the message from fans that you're bad at this, please stop. So I don't think we ever have to worry about George Lucas making another Star Wars movie. But I would love, I would love to see, I don't know who, Joss Whedon, he would make an excellent fucking director. I think they need to get the lead writer from Star Wars: The Old Republic, get Joss Whedon together, and they could do a fantastic job. If you guys haven't seen, go ahead and look at if you don't know who Hylo Viz is, go look up Hylo Viz. She's got a short hair, she's a Miri Allen, she's got the little tattoos, and she's basically Han Solo, okay? She's a smuggler. They could change some stuff around or whatever to make that a really good story. And I'm all for it. I think it would be excellent if they change some of that stuff around. And you could say that Hylo Viz is a little force sensitive. You know, maybe she does a force push, once or twice in her life. And, something like that. And you've got a female main lead, and
yeah, there might be a little bit of a revolt because that's not Star Wars. You made something other than a Jedi. But if you made a good movie, a good fucking Star Wars movie, where she had, you know, limited control of the Force, but unlike Luke, wasn't interested in honing that. She was just like, I've got a blaster and I've got a fucking lifetime full of problems following me. That would be a good story. A good story with a nice yet fresh young director who understands nerdgasms. That'd be awesome. That would be absolutely incredible. And I would happily pay to see that movie 10 times. I mean, why not? I'll give somebody $100 to watch a movie. The whole thing about George Lucas is going to have to let go of control at some point, either through his own cognitive thought, or someone's gonna basically wrest control from him. I don't like this. Whatever. I don't like this storyline. But anyway, someone's gonna either yank control from him, or he's gonna hand over the reins himself. I think he's too much of an asshole to ever hand over reins. He's just that pompous and arrogant that he would not hand over the reins to someone else, because that would be admitting defeat. And I don't think that George Lucas has that within him to admit defeat. So I think our best bet is that George Lucas dies. And that's a terrible, terrible thing to say, but realistically, the best thing for the franchise is the day George Lucas dies. I don't know how old he is. I think he's 70-something. But the day that he gets put in the ground is going to be the best day in history for Star Wars. Because that means someone at the Skywalker fucking ranch at LucasArts can finally go, oh, he's gone. Now we can actually get some work done. Saints Row, that'd be good. Assassin's Creed would be amazing. But Assassin's Creed is a lot like Prince of Persia. Like, you have to do it right. You just can't arbitrarily hire some dude with fucking pecs and say, all right, that's Incio. Like, no. You have to hire the right guy. Same thing with Star Wars. Like, if you're gonna go back to the Old Republic, and we're talking this game, thousands of Sith and thousands of Jedi fighting each other, whatever. That's common. That's Tuesday. Whoever you hire for Hilo Viz, whoever you hire for whoever, is going to have to be the right person, not just whoever. Like, for instance, if they say, yeah, we're going to put Megan Fox as Hilo Viz, I'm done. I'm going to go burn Lucas Studios down. Like, you can't just hire a pretty face. She has to be a good actress. And young, too. The whole thing about Hilo Viz is like 27, 26 or whatever. She's not 35 years old or whatever. So they're going to have to hire someone young who's good at what the fuck they do. And they're going to have to, really, really make sure that they stick close to the script. Oh, God. Alan Wake might be good. Alan Wake would be a really good movie. Actually, that would be an amazing movie. But again, they would have to do it right. They couldn't pull in any little hackney tricks or anything. They would really have to stay true to the story. And I'm sure they'd have to tone some elements down, like Alan's best friend. They'd have to tone that Hawaiian shirt down a bit. But yeah, that's basically it. I don't know, Infamous might be a little too hard, but it would make a great movie. Yeah, the whole thing of Alan Wake is, if they don't do it right, it becomes Max Payne. All these things would be great movies, but you have to do them right. You have to treat them with some level of fucking respect, which I don't think a lot of studios... I know a lot of people don't know this, but there was a Dead or Alive movie a couple years ago. It was bad. Like, bad. And it wasn't that the story... Actually, I'll tell you right, Dead or Alive, as far as the story is concerned, Dead or Alive as a story is good. For a fighting game, it's probably makes the most fucking sense out of all of them. But they did that movie Such a they did that title such
See, he's still in shock.
such a fucking whoa.
Imperial soldier. These colicoids must be destroyed.
I want her outfit. I want her outfit, whatever it is. But it's all about how you do the movie. Doom would have been a good movie if you fucking did it right. I mean, it's like they just want to throw together some crap and they're like, all right, well, we tried. Like, take a step back, look at what you're fucking doing.
Generators targeted. Weapons locked.
Dragon Age, amazing movie. Dragon Age, amazing movie. If they did it right.
Proton bombs away. Generators show no damage. Should we come around for another run?
What's the use? Return to base. There you have it. The resistance shield generators are well nigh invulnerable.
Not Peter Jackson, please. Please, not Peter Jackson.
What's happening here?
He's gonna make it fucking Lord of the Rings. Please don't let him. Just pick somebody else. Somebody else. I honest to God, if I could pick, who did Transformers? If I want explosions, that's the guy I hire. If I want a good movie, Joss Whedon, hands down. Michael Bay. So Joss Whedon and Michael Bay. Take those two guys and try to get them to work in fucking tandem. Don't hire just one director. Have a Joss Whedon, Michael Bay film. Get those two guys together, and they would make an amazing movie. Joss Whedon is not really big on explosions. If you've watched any of his movies, he doesn't really like to blow shit up too much. Like, he'll flip a car, he'll bring down a building, but he doesn't like explosions, you know. I like explosions, but I'm not gonna lie, Michael Bay, if any time a scene looks like it's going a little slow, Michael Bay is like, and explosion. Sir, they're having dialogue in a diner. I know. Blow something up in the back room. Like, he just blows shit up for the sake of blowing it up, which is cool. I like that.
That sounds like something worth seeing.
It would be. Unfortunately, it hasn't happened yet. Firestar was scrapped.
Yeah, go ahead, Hi-Res.
Every step of the way, taking the control tower is impossible, and we have no alternative. If Operation Firestar stays iced, the aerial campaign is doomed. But perhaps you can do what a squad of soldiers can't.
I don't know. A video game being translated to a movie requires a certain finesse that I think a lot of directors and studios kind of are lacking. And I think the best way to fix that, I think the very best way to fix that is to hire a director who understands the material. For instance, I love Avatar. Like, as far as the show is concerned, my niece, when she was little or whatever, we'd watch it all the time. You know, it was a kid show that I could actually watch and not want to pull my eyes out of the socket. And then when they were like, oh, we're going to have the Last Airbender movie, I'm like, sweet. And I looked at it for about 20 seconds. And I was like, I'm out. I quit. I can't do this or whatever. It's because they just don't give a fuck. And that's what happened. You hire M. Night Shyamalan, or what the fuck his name is. Terrible director, man. What a twist. And that's not M. Night Shyamalan. It was M. Night Shyamalan. I don't know what his name is. I call him What a Twist. Because everything he fucking makes, it's like we gotta have a twist at the end. That guy. Why did they hire him? What about him screamed, I know how to do a fucking adaptation of a cartoon? What about him made you think that? Nothing. Just arbitrarily, like, let's get this guy. And he goes changing the main character's name from Aang to Ang. The motherfucker's name is Aang. They say it in the cartoon. Well, in this language, they would pronounce it that way. No. When you ask him what's his name, he says, my name is Aang. That's like asking me, what's your name? My name is Bordeaux. Oh, you mean Bordeaux? No, Bordeaux. Bordeaux. Doe. Vol. Doe. Look here, you stupid motherfucker. I know what my name is. No, he just arbitrarily changed shit in the movie for the sake of changing it. I mean, I just want to give it my spin. I don't want your adaptation of it. I want the fucking cartoon condensed into 2 hours of a movie. Go. That's all I want. And they need to hire these less dickhead directors to actually do something good instead of trying to do something to boost their own fucking ego.
Cowboy Bebop, I don't know. Cowboy Bebop. Oh god, that would be so hard to do. It's all the thing about Cowboy Bebop is the anime is so good that anything remotely wrong with a live action adaptation of it would make it a bad movie. Just anything at all. I mean,
You there, just you, please.
what?
My comrade took severe damage while engaging the enemy. Please, we have to repair him.
Do not waste these organics' time. I am damaged beyond reasonable field repair.
What?
I cannot just leave you out here. I will return you to headquarters fully operational, brother. I have to.
The fuck?
I didn't realize that droids could have such strong emotions.
This is my counterpart, my comrade. I cannot just leave him in this war zone to face destruction alone. I have to save him.
Unit B6NX carries experimental emotional programming, which may be the cause of his current
Camaraderie and compassion increase unit cohesion, thereby increasing combat effectiveness by a factor of 5.
The observed result is that your programming prevents you from ignoring my damage and carrying out mission priorities. A clear flaw.
Don't listen to him. This single-use pass card will open a hidden supply locker in the nearby junkyard. You can retrieve a new motivator, and we can repair my comrade.
Using our assigned pass card in order to repair me is a waste, 6NX.
Aww.
Organics which to help. They should use the card to retrieve a data spike to counteract your flawed emotional program.
Find a new motivator and a data spike and fix you both.
Data spikes and motivators are stored separately, and the card will only open items capable of engaging those relates.
Okay. God, this is the longest fucking cutscene ever. I don't know. Full Metal Alchemist. That would be a good one. FMA. That would be to touch that with kit gloves. They would have to handle that like it is the fucking the tier of Iran. Like it is the crown jewel. Like they could not fuck that up at all. Anything that is slightly wrong with that, and the movie falls to shit. The costume is off a little bit. The hair color is off a little bit. The actor is off just a little bit, and it's a fucking disaster. For instance, the thing about Full Metal Alchemist is Ed is a short guy. You would have to find a short guy who is like ridiculously fit and has all of his hair. I mean, that in and of itself is a fucking casting nightmare. And on top of that, he has to be able to act. Alright, I don't care about this quest. I really don't like Balmore. I don't even like the quest line here. It's, oh, we're in a war. We're getting whooped on. It's a war. Like, wow. Where we headed to? That's a heroic foreman. We'll do the governor's call. Yeah, exactly. To get a movie, an anime movie, right, you're going to need at least a trilogy. And I hate using a trilogy because it's so cliche. But you're going to at least have to have more than... you're going to need more than 120 minutes to develop your characters. There's no way that you can realistically make Alphonse Edward or Alphonse Elric believable in 120 minutes. You just can't. The first movie should show them basically starting off or whatever, you know. The whole suit of armor, you know, and God, think about the CG. The CG for that has to be amazing. And if it's not amazing, then you can't do it. There's no way to make the suit of armor from Full Metal Alchemist reasonable on the cheap. So you're gonna need like a lot of money to make that happen. Just Justin Bieber. I don't know. Just think about who could you get to be gluttony? Who could you get to be greed? Greed. God, there's so many people who get to be greed. But lust. Yeah, it's gonna be rough. I love her. She's awesome. Darth Latris.
You didn't even own up to your mistakes. That's why the Dark Council gave this planet to me.
We must forgive the mistakes of our lessons. I'm sure the governor would apologize if he had the opportunity.
Would he?
Oh, yes. Please.
Very well.
Danny DeVito's gluttony.
And I've been tasked with cleansing Balmora. I'm glad you came. More Sith can only bring much needed dignity.
All right, let me ask you guys this, because I've had this floating around in my head for a while. If you could pick, all right, a story in the Star Wars universe, we're gonna switch to Star Wars for a minute. Pick a story in the Star Wars universe. Who would be your main character, and what time period would you do? So but the only rule is you can't do any of the fucking Skywalkers. No Skywalkers, no Solos. None of that shit from the 70s. Leave the original trilogy alone. You have to come up with your own character. So you can pick it out of Expanded Universe. You can pick it out of the Old Republic. You can make up your own character. But give me an archetype that would be really good for a movie. I think watching a Sith try to ascend to the Dark Council would be... oh, it'd be so good. It would be amazing.
How can Lord Zash's apprentice be of use?
Such a skilled tongue and
Revan.
respectful disposition. I shan't turn my back on you. You're all here because I asked
Greedo.
his best.
Let's see. Splintering of the Jedi and Sith, because they used to all be one order. It's true. Revan. Oh, that's good. The Mandalore. Yeah, using the Mandalore as a villain. Oh, that'd be good. That would be good. All right, hold on. All right. Darth Bane. Ooh, you guys, some pretty good answers.
His troops went rogue after the Republic withdrew from this sector.
The Mandalore would be a great villain. And he's a non-Force user. Oh, he's basically a warrior king. That'd be good.
Is there anyone on Balmora who isn't fighting the Empire?
Now you understand my displeasure with the previous administration. Jaquetta and the Resistance are based in the Balmoran Arms Factory, home of the brightest engineers in the galaxy. I'm told the factory's...
I don't know. It doesn't matter really which Mandalore you pick. I mean, you can pick... I don't know. You could even go through... Calder's as Mandalore. That would be good. That would be fucking good.
No fortress is invincible. There must be a structural vulnerability. Potential
Life in a mobile waste bucket.
If the governor had done his job, we'd know. But there's no time anymore. Jaquetta may have officially gone rogue.
I love Darth Latris.
They fund his revolution from the shadows, make supply drops in secret. Those Republic hypocrites want the arms factory as a beachhead. And as Balmora's new governor, I say we take it before they mount a full invasion.
If the Republic invades Balmora, they'll be violating the peace with the Empire.
And if they act through mercenaries, a foreign government, they'll hide their involvement. But it'll be an invasion just the same. Obliterate the factory defenses, lower the barricades that block our scans, and I'll have an army at your back.
Jar Jar's Elder Days.
Proof of Republic involvement on Balmora. We'll expose their lies on a galactic scale.
Oh, I spent all my money to have people killed. I don't know. Jar Jar is such a bad character, but that's because Lucas has lost so much. He has lost touch with the general public. Like in the 70s, they kind of added the Ewoks and R2 and all that stuff to kind of, bridge the gap. It was kind of... Star Wars was meant to be a Saturday afternoon movie you took your kids to see, kind of like Buck Rogers. They actually didn't have any intention of making sequels or trilogies. The very first Star Wars movie was supposed to be a one-shot deal. That's it. The way it ended kind of ended in an ambiguous way that left room for them to do something later if, the opportunity arose. But you could stop at the first fucking movie and that'd have been fine. That's it. It was like, cool. And they made it kind of a Buck Rogery thing that you could take your kids to see. There's not too much, nudity or sex or anything in it. And they've got memorable, bright characters. R2-D2 exists solely for one purpose,
to sell fucking toys to children. C-3PO is a bumbling fucking gay robot, and he exists because, oh well, he's a robot, but he's gay. I can control a robot. That's fine. You know, it's meant to bridge the gap between man and machine, and it's such a good movie for kids, and it did so well because it struck a chord with adults. And Lucas just lost his shit when he had to make 3 more movies. He was like, all right, well, let's put in Jar Jar. He looks friendly enough, and I can sell toys of that. And it was a fucking disaster. What do we have here? The new ones. Lucas, I don't give a shit what George Lucas says. George Lucas is a relic of a lost age. George Lucas, the thing about it is, he is the worst thing for his brand. The second Star Wars movie had nothing to do with George Lucas, and by many people's accounts, I'm not saying the majority, but a lot of people think it is the best fucking Star Wars ever. It has nothing to do with George Lucas. He was busy doing other things. He didn't have time to shoot Star Wars. And it is the best movie because it has nothing to do with George Lucas. I'm sure that fucking stings. I'm sure that hurts. You know, that would hurt me professionally. Like, damn, the best work that I ever did was the work that I never did. Oh god, that's not good. And the thing is, the dude is so fucking proud, and he has so much money, he has so many yes people behind him, that when he makes a mistake or he has a bad idea, no one says anything. They just kind of let Mr. Magoo do his own fucking thing, and they're like, well, he'll die eventually. For instance, he got a green light from Fox 10 years ago, and basically an unlimited budget. They said, make us a Star Wars TV series. 10 years ago, he got this, right? It's an okay. It is a blank check. He can do whatever he wants. It's already going to be in syndication. It's all the shit is guaranteed. George Lucas said no. And he said no for one reason. He said, I don't think the technology of today is on par with what I want to do in my movie or do in a television show. Now, 10 years ago, technology, I'll give you that, was not perfect. And it's still not perfect, right? But it's a damn sight better than what he had in the 1970s. And he's complaining that he doesn't have the technology he needs to make a weekly television series. It was be on Fox, just like 24 or whatever. Once a week, you would get a little glimpse of the Star Wars universe. And his response is, we don't have the technology. I'm like, what the fuck are you waiting for? Someone to build a real lightsaber? What do you mean you don't have the technology, jackass? But no one will call him on it. The Fox executives won't call him on it. No one will say anything to Lord Lucas because they're afraid that Lucas will pull his support from your network. Fuck George Lucas. Exactly. You can do it without CG. For instance, the fight scene between Obi-Wan and Anakin, right? They're fighting in a mountain. A fiery fucking mountain. All of it is filmed in a fucking room. All of it is filmed in a room, a green room. They don't go outside once. They don't even leave the fucking room. All they do is paint it and move chairs and tables in, and then paint the chairs and tables green. For instance, when they're fighting on that walkway or whatever, and Obi-Wan's like wiggling shit like that, they have him standing on a fucking chair, a green rolling chair, and the poor fuck is standing like this, literally wobbling because he's standing on a rolling chair. Because George Lucas is so fucking lazy, he won't get out of his armchair to direct. Every part of episode, of the new ones, whatever. I don't even want to call them it the new ones. Every time someone's having dialogue, they're walking down a fucking hallway or they're sitting on a couch. They walk side by side for a little bit. They stop. They look at each other. They talk. They ponder. And then they keep walking down the hallway. And then it fucking fades over and over again. It's like they don't know how to have a conversation in any other type of fucking fashion. It's the worst. For God's sakes, Liam Nielsen, when he's fighting Grievous, is in a fucking room. The mountain scene where Anakin and Obi-Wan are fighting, they could have easily gone to the Colorado mountains and had them fight on, I don't know, the mountain, and then gone in with CG and put in the lava and given us a real fucking fight instead of this. For God's sakes, it's so sad when Anakin is climbing, you know, burnt the fuck up and he's climbing out of the lava. There's a guy standing off his camera who has a handful of rocks and he's throwing it down towards Anakin to make it look like he's crawling up. It is the saddest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. Oh, God. You know what? This has pissed me off so bad. I'm getting a drink. I'll be back later, guys. Don't try to have the high ground. I'll be back later. Shit. I'll catch you guys in a bit.